season brings with it a natural sense of optimism, a clean slate of sorts, with which anything can be done. Gone are the disappointments of last year. Looking forward, it is every team's goal to be the last one standing at the Xcel Energy Center in St. Paul this coming April. Welcome everybody inside our My9 Sports broadcast booth. I am Zach Schneider. Alongside me for tonight's game, former UMD captain Judd Medic, and from our sister station in Michigan is Dave Ellis. This is the really exciting time of the year. Every team across the country is 0-0, and we've got two teams tonight. Maybe more questions than answers at this point in the year, but trying to find that identity that UMD and Michigan Tech are so well known for.
Yeah, it's a great old school rivalry. Gets renewed tonight. Old WCHA days, obviously. These two, I was involved in that, which is always fun. But top 20 teams both. Michigan State Tech at 10, obviously. UMD around 17. I mean, you can throw those out, but obviously we have two really solid programs starting the season off with the Hall of Fame game tonight, which is going to be exciting.
That's like bringing back the old Superior Cup, right? These two teams should be playing all the time, just 4 hours apart. We love the rivalry, and we're going to love what we see on the ice tonight.
Each of these teams had a high-scoring freshman from a year ago, both now sophomores. For Michigan Tech, it was the CCHA Rookie of the Year, Kyle Kukkonen. He led the team 18 goals. He added 9 assists. He's a really good player for Michigan Tech.
Well, you wonder how a guy who was a finalist for Mr. Hockey ends up in Houghton, because he's got family up there. He went to camp as a kid, and he loved the place, and they love what he does when he gets on the ice in Houghton. Great hands, great speed. He's got a big shot, and they will load him up for the one-timers on the power play and try to feed him the puck.
He will be on Michigan Tech's top line here tonight, along with Rylan Mosey and Max Koskapurdi, a freshman from Finland, of which big things are expected. For UMD, another fantastic freshman, now a sophomore. That's Ben Steeves, who was second in the country among rookies last year with his 21 goals.
Yeah, I mean, what a huge freshman year he had leading this UMD team in scoring. Obviously, 21 goals for anybody, and obviously a freshman is incredible, and he got better and better as the year went on, and he's certainly one of the players that we're all excited to see come back in his second year and see what he can do. Sometimes it's tough with that second year, that sophomore jinx, but he's the type of competitive kid that I think is going to come out and lead this offensive charge for UMD this year. A lot of weight on his shoulders, but certainly he can handle it.
Take a look at the UMD lineup here for the season opener. Of note, Aaron Pionk from Hermantown, Minnesota, the Minnesota Wild draft pick, on the top pairing tonight for UMD. Let's turn now to our Kohler keys to the game. First for the visitors, Dave.
Got to get a big start out of this Michigan Tech team, and Joe Sean wants to roll all 4 lines. You're going to see every player out there.
And for UMD, the Kohler keys to the game, Judd.
Well, a lot of new line combinations, some new faces, some injuries that guys have been dealing with. They got to find some chemistry early on with their forward group, especially, and the goaltending situations. Zach Stachko is going to get the start tonight. In my mind, I'm not sure there's a clear-cut goalie, and I don't think Scott Sandlin thinks there is either. He loves the competition in practice, that goaltending competition, pushing each other, see who kind of emerges as that number one.
These are the questions only the season can provide the answers, and as UMD head coach Scott Sandlin likes to say, we will find out. Right after the break, we'll drop the puck on this brand new season, Bulldogs and Huskies, here on My9 Sports, the Gray TV Network. Welcome back to Amsoil Arena, the season opener tonight between UMD and Michigan Tech. Tonight's game brought to you with the proud support of Kohler, Chevrolet Buick GMC, and Essentia Health. Thank you to them for their continued support of our broadcast all season long. The starting goaltenders for these two teams tonight. In goal for the visitors, Michigan Tech, a senior, Blake Pietola. He enters this year among active goaltenders in the NCAA, first in wins, first in games played, and first in shutouts. He was the CCHA's co-preseason player of the year. And for UMD, Zach Stachko, also a senior. He did have his fair share of struggles last year for the Bulldogs in a tandem with Matthew Thiessen, the transfer out of Maine, but it's Stachko out of Cohasset who gets the call tonight for the season opener. Zach Schneider, Judd Medic, Dave Ellis here with you for this game, the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. We spent all summer long dissecting these two teams, guys. The day is finally here. Let's drop the puck and play some hockey.
Well, I know I'm excited, and it's great to have two different perspectives tonight up here in the booth. Dave joining us from the UP here, and I'm excited. It's going to be a great rivalry renewed here. Talked about it off the top, a couple of former WCHA teams going at it, and I'm really looking forward to it, guys.
Yeah, a lot of history between these two schools going all the way back. The very first game played at Michigan Tech's rink, the opponent was Duluth.
We are underway, Bulldogs and Huskies here in Duluth. Thanks for being with us on this Saturday night. First cool thing to mention, Hermantown native Levi Stauber, the extra skater tonight for Michigan Tech. Joe Sean puts him in the starting lineup, the junior for the Huskies, out there to begin this game in his hometown. Bronte with the puck for Michigan Tech, gives way, and out to center ice. To the far side now it goes. A shot in on Stayskal. He makes the stop and pops free to Quinn Olson for the Bulldogs. Through center ice comes one of the alternate captains this year for UMD. He's dispossessed. Behind the net now. And out to center ice. This is Getz. Ahead for Koska-Purdy. He's a freshman we talked about in the open, but big things expected. Getz walks in. That shot blocked before it got to Stayskal. Battle along the near side boards. It comes to Kukkonen. He's ridden off the puck behind the play. Aaron Pionk moves it up the ice, and now it's McMenamin for UMD. The senior transfer out of Penn State, one of two transfers to come to UMD this offseason. The other, Luke Bast, who you'll see a fair share of on UMD's blue line. And an early icing here on Michigan Tech means we will go down to the fourth member of our broadcast team. Between the benches, she is Alexis Beckett.
Yeah, Zach, Michigan Tech favored to win this game over UMD and win the CCHA. But both coaches say that this matchup is going to reveal where both of these teams are at. Bulldogs head coach Scott Sandelin saying, listen, this is the first time in a long time that we don't know who's going to be playing with who. And on the other side, Huskies head coach Joe Sean saying this is going to reveal how competitive we are, playing a team with so many significant returners and playing a hungry team who weren't able to make it to the national tournament last year, guys.
Bodnerchuk gloves the puck down at the near side point for UMD. Bettens working on it there along the near side boards. It's held momentarily, but now chipped ahead. This is Logan Pietola, one of the captains this year for Michigan Tech, and one of several Pietolas you will hear of throughout this broadcast. We'll document the family ties to the Michigan Tech program as we go. Quick shot here from Raymond, and Stayskal makes the save on the rebound as well.
Well, both teams getting a couple early chances here. This one here is the best one so far for Michigan Tech, as they do a nice job gaining the blue line offensively, and a good shot on goal. And Stagecall had to be sharp on that one, almost snuck under between his arm and his body, but he did a nice job to hang on to that, no rebound.
Logan Pietro is a fifth-year senior, guys, and he's playing with two freshmen out there tonight, so definitely Joe Sean trying to get that experience to rub off.
First three shots on goal of the hockey game belong to the visitors, Michigan Tech. Battle in front of the penalty box area. It bounces free now. This is Nick Williams for the Huskies. Angles one off the boards. It's collected by Bast. Moved immediately ahead for Mangini. He's one of the freshmen for this year's UMD team. Loney now in the corner. To the point, Dubinsky. Near side, Bast has it roll over his stick. Just throws it in behind. Smith and Mangini both there for UMD. Smith is tripped up. No call coming. Actually, there is. The trail official calls that on Michigan Tech, and the first power play of the game belongs to UMD.
Yeah, the back referee called that one there, and you can see the Michigan Tech player, Williams, doesn't agree with it. His stick kind of got tangled up in the skates of the UMD player. So regardless, he's going to serve 2 minutes or less for a hooking penalty here. Good shift there by the UMD third line. As they got the puck deep, they go low to high a couple times and try to work it back to the net and just grind it out, and there you see the penalty. Not sure, what do you guys think? Is that a penalty?
Absolutely. Yeah. If it's in the corner like that, and I love the high official doing that one so that the low official can concentrate on the puck.
First Minnesota power play of the game belongs to UMD. Top unit out there. Gallatin will man the point along with 4 forwards on this unit for UMD. He fires from a long ways out, missed the net, and the clear out to center. Now an odd man chance the other way for Michigan Tech, shorthanded, and just too far ahead of Ryland Mosley in the end for the Huskies.
Well, good penalty care there by Tech. Kind of a partial breakaway, but stage call had a good stick to take away that opportunity.
Second unit over the boards. No, it's still the first unit. My mistake for UMD. 2-on-2 battle in that corner. Steves will move it to the point. Gallatin. 45 seconds gone. One-timer for Lowhite is blocked and cleared by Michigan Tech.
Well, the Huskies are a great penalty kill team, have been for a couple years, guys. It's almost like special teams is not going to ever be a factor. They struggle a lot on the power play, but they don't let you score either. It's going to have to be a 5-on-5 if you're going to beat them.
UMD struggled last year 5-on-5. A lot of their goals came by way of this power play. It was a very good unit, close to 25% on the year. Pionk, the freshman, collects it at the point. This is the second unit for UMD. McMenamin tried a jam play on the far side. That was no good. He gets the puck back now in the corner to the point. Out of the skates, Bass tries to play it. McMenamin picks the pocket. McMenamin has Perkins with him. Across, a shot and a save made by Pietola. Biondi has it now for the Bulldogs. He fires one in. The rebound. McMenamin was on the doorstep. He takes a cross check from Chase Pietola as he took exception to the second chance look from the UMD transfer Connor McMenamin.
Well, Blake Biondi had an unbelievable chance there on the back door and a nicely executed play on UMD. Kind of on a broken play. Tech wasn't able to get the puck out, but UMD kept it in, had a 3-on-1. Blake, you didn't see him miss those very often, but he does there. And then he kind of tries to force it and throw it back on net. Gets a whistle, which is good, and a chance to get new guys out there. But that's one of the ones, Blake Biondi's got to put those in the back of the net if he sees chances like that.
Blake Biondi back with the Bulldogs this year as a senior after missing all of the second half of last season with double shoulder surgery. Long shot now tipped in front, and the puck's still free, top of the crease. It's still there, jammed at by a couple Bulldogs and now cleared out to the blue line. Held momentarily by Dubinsky and taken over by Loney. Couple exciting net front scrambles, but nothing coming on that first power play for UMD. Williams is released. We're back to 5-on-5. Area pass to the middle to no one in particular. It's picked off by UMD's Smith. He gives way to Mangini. Fired one towards the net. It was blocked. To the point now, held by Bodnarchuk. Comes to Smith, who turns and fires. Pad save Pietola. Up the wall and out to center ice. Bodnarchuk steps up and sends it back in immediately for UMD. Now high in the slot, a shot from Michigan Tech. That was whistled just wide on the stick side of Stayskal. Now it's Chase Pietola to the far side. He couldn't connect with Mosley, who has the puck now. Shovels it to the near side. Kukkonen. Steves dispossesses him and out to center ice. It comes in the feet of Bettens. Has Spicer going to the net. Can't get it to the front. Spicer now will take over behind. Rather, it's Bettens into the corner. Two big bodies as he's ridden into the wall by Max Koskapurdy. To the point, Gallatin a shot. Blocker save Pietola. Back to the near point, Gallatin. Now Bettens fires it toward the net. Couple Bulldogs there. It's tipped to the corner. Bulldogs are buzzing here since that power play. Centering pass tipped away, and Michigan Tech will relieve the pressure out to center ice. Mosley centering pass, picked off by Spicer, and through center ice they come. The captain Lowhite ahead for Gallatin. Far side half boards, it's Olsen. James will wrap it around. It caught the skates of the official. Back to the point, Gallatin. Walks to the middle, tipped in front, comes back to Lowhite, he scores! The captain, Luke Lowhite. The Bulldogs on the board first, it's 1-0.
Well, UMD's done a really nice job so far early on getting pucks low to high, getting it back to their defensemen. Michigan Tech loves to clamp up and play 5 guys down low, which leaves defensemen open. Gallatin gets it here, throws it on net, and a lucky bounce for UMD, and Luke Lowhite in a good position in the middle of the ice. He buries it 5-hole.
Quinn Olson, good job there too to clear out the traffic in front and give that shooting lane back to Lowhite to put that puck in.
Lowhite, the grad student captain of these Bulldogs, scores his first goal of the year, a role he might have to take more of if UMD is to find the type of success thereafter. Now it's James. He's tripped up on the far side. Lowhite moves it to Olson. To James on the goal line. Pietola made a save from a sharp angle. Back to Lowhite, who fires. Olson on the rebound in front. Tried to go between his legs. It ends up in the end boards behind the goal of Pietola. And a too many men penalty going to be called on UMD as Lowhite and Biondi got their signals crossed. Luke Lowhite has the Bulldogs up 1-0, but Michigan Tech to the power play when we come back on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV Network.
We're your neighbor. We are Synovus Energy. Synovus is proud to join the UMD Bulldogs in celebrating our student athletes. Go Bulldogs!
UMD leads 1-0, but Michigan Tech to its first Minnesota power play of the evening. And whistles off the initial draw.
Yeah, that was the power play coming from a too many men on the ice, which was an obvious call. Blake Biondi jumped on the ice, and he's got to realize that he can't touch that puck when I believe it was Lowhite who was still at about 5 or 6 strides to get to the bench there, guys.
After the do-over, UMD wins the draw and clears the puck 200 feet. First look at the Michigan Tech power play of this season. Chase Pietola will start from his own zone. Shadowed by Smith through the neutral zone and into the Bulldogs' end of the ice. It's shot back around to the near side. Mosley cuts it off there. Into the corner it goes. Mosley has it again. Pietola and Mosley play catch at the top. Long shot providing the screen in front was Jack Works, but Stayskal finds the puck and makes the save.
Well, this is a team, like we said, not very good on the power play last year, guys. They barely hit double figures in efficiency, but you can see changes already. 3 rookies out there, and when you're running your first man advantage out there with 3 guys that have never played, that tells you big changes, and they're trying to do something to just shock this thing into life.
Yeah, maybe keeping it simple, I'd imagine, just getting pucks to the net with traffic as we saw there. That's a good way to start to at least get chances and maybe get a couple of ugly ones early on.
Puck comes back to Jed Pietola. He moves it down low. Kukkonen tried to go across the box, and a good stick from either Spicer or Pierce, I believe, for UMD, knocks that puck out of play.
When it did work, their power play last year was to load up Mosley on one side or load up Kukkonen on the other, and now they split him back up. So watch for number 9 out there. They're going to try to get him on the one-timer on that quick skip pass when they miss a defenseman and get that box moving down there and not let them move to get over it and cover it up.
Kadaroff will draw against Spicer. Into the corner it goes. Kadaroff has the puck on the near side boards. It comes to Jed Pietola at the point. Far side now in the circle. Across looking for Kukkonen. It skipped over his stick. Michigan Tech holds and controls in the zone with Kadaroff. Kukkonen, near side boards. Still 35 seconds to go on the power play. Walks in near circle, a shot, save made. The rebound in front, bounces to the far side. The rebound kicked away by Stayskal. 25 seconds to go. Pietola fires, blocked in front, comes back to him. Another long shot, another block for UMD. Comes to Kukkonen near side. Couple scary moments in front of the goal for Michigan Tech. Comes back to Pietola at the point. Final 10 seconds of the power play. Slides it through the crease area, bounces around back to Jed Pietola. Near side looking for Kukkonen, and UMD pokes it away. A successful kill out of the box. Here comes Biondi. He's chased down by Pietola, but Biondi has control for UMD. Gives to Pionk. 2 Hermantown guys connect. Back to Biondi at the point. Loads, fires, and that hit bodies in front, deflects wide. Hops free to Pionk now. He walks in and fires, and holding that one, Blake Pietola for Michigan Tech.
Boy, Stayskal on the other end, guys. That was amazing. He went 45 seconds with no stick, and the Huskies kept trying to shoot that puck through low. Great defense by the Bulldogs to keep those shots from coming in clean and get it into the corner. Not let him have to deal with the rebounds in there, too, because that would have been tough with no stick.
Yeah, he had laid his pads down nicely to cover that bottom half. He was doing his best Blake Pietola imitation there, stopping everything in close. Couple of good saves on power plays early on by both goaltenders. You know what, I'll give Tech credit. They had a great power play. They had possession the whole time, and they won puck battles.
Rebound chance in front. That was Lowhite looking for already his second of the period. Pionka shot off the post. The rebound still free. Jamming at it is UMD, and whistles finally come with some pushing and shoving, but the puck safely under the pads of Blake Pietola.
He's a great scrambler. That's perfect example right there, and the Husky players definitely want to protect him in on the inside too, guys. That's a lot of traffic that you're seeing on top of the All-American goaltender there.
That's a lot of traffic in front of him. He does a really good job, though, finding pucks. You'll hear goaltending coach, now assistant coach Brant Nicklin here at UMD, talk about finding pucks and getting active down low to find that little hole where you can see it coming through there, and he certainly does that there, uses his body to keep that puck out after I think it hit the post, like you said, Zach.
Such different styles between our goaltenders tonight. 6'5" Zach Stayskal, 6 foot Blake Pietola. They have to play differently, but Blake Pietola certainly has done well as a smaller goaltender in college hockey.
He looks bigger to me, and he plays bigger to me. He covers that bottom of the net nicely with those pads, and he's got that quick reaction where he can be athletic and make big saves like that in tight.
Biondi fires that one. Pietola makes the glove save, and now let's go once more to the fourth member of our broadcast team, Alexis Beckett.
Yeah, Zach, with 6 new Bulldogs on the team this year, 4 freshmen and 2 transfers, head coach Scott Sandelin said he's excited about what these guys can bring and what he's seen from them so far. But the most important for this team's success is that the returners are the best guys on the ice, while the freshmen just come and compliment him. He said he wants to see, but he's not expecting those freshmen to come out and wow him right away. They can play at their own pace, and they'll be able to put them in good situations to do that. Guys?
Yeah, thanks very much, Alexis. So far, so good. His fifth-year senior captain, Luke Lowhite, has his Bulldogs up 1-0 as we reach the midway point of this opening period. Biondi, area pass to the near side. Then McMenamin hands off to Pionk. He fires a sharp angle shot off the pad of Pietola. Comes to Biondi, who holds, wraps it in behind, misses Perkins. Bass down from his spot on the point. And a bouncing puck out to center ice. Now in a race for it is Marcinkiewicz along with a pair of Bulldogs. Chasing it is Dom James for UMD. 2-on-1 battle along the near side boards, but he gets some help from Bast. And now Dubinsky, who will calm things down behind the goal of UMD. James to Olsen at the Michigan Tech line. Leaves for Olsen, fires a shot off the stick of Pietola. 2-on-2 battle in that near side corner. James comes away with it to the far side, out in front, and the one-timer fanned on by Lowhite. He had a lot of net to shoot at. He gets another chance and fans again. Bodnerchuk fires, and that puck deflects over the cage. Now a loose puck out in front, bouncing for Olsen, who fires, and a bouncing puck goes over the glass for UMD.
Well, another good shift for this line. Some wily veterans, obviously, you could call this line, with James in the middle of Lowhite and Olsen. Already one on the board for Lowhite, but he gets another chance, maybe an even better chance on that one, and he kind of fans on a couple chances. But good energy, good excitement for that line, and you can see what we talked about, finding some chemistry early on for this UMD lineup, and this line certainly finding some.
Spicer to draw against Pietola in the UMD offensive zone. Bouncing puck out to center ice. Giving chase is Laurie Raymond, along with Darian Goetz, another of those Hermantown guys that have become so popular here in UMD uniforms. And of course, one of them tonight on the other side wearing black, that's Levi Stauber. Haven't seen him since that opening shift, so we'll hear from his dad later on in the broadcast. Now with an icing against Michigan Tech gives us a chance to remind you that UMD Store's annual balloon sale comes this Wednesday, October 11th. You can shop for your UMD gear. Pop a balloon at checkout. Save 25 to 100% of your entire purchase of UMD wear and gifts. This event only available on campus on Kirby Drive, so don't miss the UMD Stores balloon sale Wednesday, October 11th. Off the icing, the face-off in the Michigan Tech zone. Loney tries to jump for it. It comes free now. Isaac Gordon couldn't corral it through neutral ice, so Smith shoots it back in for the Bulldogs. Mangini first on the scene along with Matt Campbell. And now Smith on the far side, half boards, 2-on-2 battle. Loney pinning the puck to the boards for UMD. He moved from the middle, Judd, to a wing to start tonight for Scott Sandlin. We'll see if that change holds or if Loney at one point ends up back in the center position.
Yeah, Loney is a natural centerman and has played well in that position here at UMD. So a little bit of shuffling again, coming back to finding the right combinations. And I mean, it's not a bad problem to have, having multiple guys that can play center.
16 shot attempts already for UMD, too, guys. That is a huge number, only about halfway through the period. And this ice has been tilted definitely down to our left for much of the opening going here.
A couple grade A saves to talk about from Blake Pietola. We talked about a couple from Zach Stayskal, but Pietola to our left has been busy for Michigan Tech.
Well, I don't think there's any doubt that he's probably going to be their best player this year.
Going to have to be.
He's going to have to be in a lot of nights. So.
Off the faceoff, this is Bass for UMD. Into the corner, tries to protect the puck against Campbell. Campbell gets some reinforcements now as the battle continues in that near corner. It pops free. Biondi, Perkins there for the Bulldogs. Lurking in front was McMenamin. Comes to the point, long shot. That hits shin guards in front. Biondi fights for it on the near boards, moves it to Bass. Gives it to Perkins. High slot, Dubinsky. Long shot, save Pietola. McMenamin picks up the rebound. He fires one, another save, Pietola. The shot counter keeps ticking upwards for UMD, but Pietola equal to the task. Now Jed Pietola will slide it ahead, out of the reach of everybody. Dubinsky moves it to center ice. Biondi, at the end of his shift, will dump and head off on a change. Jed Pietola moves to Chase Pietola. Those two cousins, but on the same defensive pairing here tonight. Dave, when you talk to Joe Sean next, tell him thank you for making it easy.
Well, you got to get first names down, though. It's saying two names instead of one every time now, Zach.
James shoots it opposite corner for UMD. Jed Pietola moves it to Chase Pietola. Ahead for Marcin Kevics. Works at the UMD line, has it taken away by Olsen. He moves it ahead for James. Tried to give way to low height, but that was intercepted by Pietola. That was Chase who moves it into the UMD zone. Off the bench, it's Pedersen. He levied a big hit along those far side boards. Pionk tries to get physical along those boards as well. The puck pops free to Olsen. Pionk ahead for Spicer. Tried to tip it into the zone. Russell immediately the other way. On the backhand, tried to fire one toward the middle, did Blaze Richards. Directed behind the goal, this is Spicer. Gallatin, outlet for Bettens. He and Olsen couldn't connect cleanly. And so now Pionk gains the red line and will shoot it in. 5 minutes to go here in the opening period. 1-0 UMD the score. The shot's 18-7 Bulldogs. Taken away by Russell. Moves it to the far side. Trying to step up for a big hit was Goetz, but he missed Mosley. Stayskal helps him out with the stick play behind. Now it's Steves. He can't go 1-on-2. Michigan Tech ahead for Kukkonen. As Koska-Purdy going to the net, doubles back, and now fires one that's up out of play. And a face-off coming. It's 1-0 Bulldogs. The fifth-year senior captain, Luke Lowhite, the only goal of the game on My9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
Hard work builds strength, and strength can help you get through.
Show us your best smile, and you can be featured on the video board.
Offensive zone face-off here for Michigan Tech. Shoots it around to the far side. Isaac Gordon fights for it there. This is Logan Pietola, far corner, centering pass, comes all the way to Getz. It hops over his stick. Now in a race, it's Mangini. Mangini, the freshman for UMD, poked away in the end by Matthew Campbell. Centering pass for Loney was deflected away. Mangini has it once more. To the point, Dubinsky, and it took a weird hop off the dasher. It's all the way back where Stayskal will play it. He backhands ahead for Luke Bast. Tipped into the zone by Mangini for UMD with 4 minutes to play in period number 1. Bouncing puck into the UMD zone. Olsen will get it out to neutral. Took a hit for his trouble from Trevor Russell. Russell has it again. Fights with Olsen. They slip it ahead for Dominic James. He's into the wall with Nick Williams. James comes away with it. To the point. Pionk loads, fires, and that was blocked up out of play by Michigan Tech. Once more this period. Let's go down between the benches. Alexis Beckett with more.
Yeah, senior captain Luke Lohite entering his 5th year, and he made a big jump last season, earning the Mike Sertich Most Improved Player, and you can see he's trying to build that on that again. The first and only goal of the game. I sat down with him, and coming up at the intermission, you'll hear why it's so important to him to be a captain this year and what it means to play Bulldog hockey. Guys?
Well, you saw all the career highs from last year with Luke Lohite. They'd like him to set some more career highs this year as a 5th year.
Well, it's an honor for him to wear that C on that Bulldog jersey. I know he's certainly excited about that and takes pride in that and wants to have a great season again.
Biondi fires one that Pietola sticks up out of play. We mentioned this is the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game, Dave, and you, for the first time ever, I think we're spoiled as Northlanders here. You had a chance to visit this for the first time today.
It was amazing to get a chance to go up and see it. And ironically enough, guys, the guy that started it was a former Michigan Tech student, too. So 50 years ago, since it's been around, I really enjoyed my visit. We're all wearing the pins tonight that we found up there. So it's a great chance to get up and really feel the history of hockey in this area.
As you saw on the graphic, of course, Cloquet native Jamie Langenbrunner, part of that class of 2023. What a great honor for him, and the latest in a long line of Minnesotans and people from this area to go into that special, special place in Eveleth. Kicking it ahead to himself now was Kukkonen, but couldn't get on the end of it for a shot on goal. Last 3 minutes now of this opening period. Kukkonen fights off the check. Change up in front. Stayskal makes a save, and the rebound was even better with the left pad.
Well, Rylan Mosley made a great play there on the pass and then followed up and got a rebound that I'm not sure how Stagecall got his left pad on it, but he did, and that's a goal saver right there. Remember that one, guys.
And a great play on the other end by Blake Pietola to knock that centering pass away because 2 Bulldogs were right on the doorstep. And now an icing on Michigan Tech with 2:21 to go.
Yeah, that's an intentional play that the Huskies just did there, guys, as Kukkonen tries to get that puck deep and either make the goalie play it or find a way to get his own guy in there. But Stagecall, I don't think knew he'd made that save. That's just push that pad out there and hope you hit it, and that's what Rylan Mosley did.
It's the first time this season you get 3 of the letters of the word goal out of your mouth, and a goaltender makes you feel silly. It'll happen time and time again.
Well, about 2:21 left in the first period. Key moments here of this period. Obviously a 1-0 game UMD sticking to right now, but you never want to give up a goal in the last minute of a game, either team here, so we'll keep an eye here to see what happens heading into the first intermission.
2-on-3 as they come through neutral ice. Kukkonen takes a big hit there, stepping up Riley Bodnerchuk for UMD. Maloney along the near boards. Richards on a mission, tried to throw some physicality around for Michigan Tech. UMD throws it in with 1:45 to go, and now it's chipped along the dasher, back behind the goal of UMD. Gallatin crashes into the far side wall. He comes away with it and gives ahead now to Dominic James. Olsen had to go off his stick, continues to fight for it near the Michigan Tech line. It's taken away in the end but he gets it back. This is Olsen. Tried to leave it for James to the far side. Low height a shot. It's deflected up in the air by Pietola, and now going to be cleared out by Michigan Tech. Nifty passing play there by the top line for the Bulldogs. Marcinkiewicz, a long shot from Arvid Kataroth in the end, missed the net.
1 minute remaining in the first period.
1 minute to go in the first period. Olsen for James, knifes his way through the defense into the corner. Shovels it behind the goal, runs into Olsen, and Tech will come away with the puck. Flipped in. And moved ahead. This is Biondi. Biondi at the line. Bouncing puck, could never really get a firm handle on it. Dubinsky spins a pass from McMenamin at center. McMenamin got his stick up underneath the helmet of Campbell. No call coming. McMenamin without a stick, unable to continue on the rush, but it sure looked like he got that stick up high, didn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of a weird play there. I was looking at the referee for maybe a high sticking penalty. Nothing called, and
final 3 seconds. Bodnerchuk a shot, and one final save this period from the senior Blake Pietola. He has been, as advertised, one of the best goaltenders in the country. Certainly one of the people we're looking at for a possible Mike Richter award this year, and he's been really good, Dave.
But you can't give up 21 shots in a period, Zach. I don't care how good your goaltender is. If you're tipping the ice like that, it means the other team is dominating you with the puck. The Huskies need to find ways now to sustain some pressure in the other end, give their goaltender a little bit of a break.
yeah, the game got a little bit more physical in the last 5 minutes. Kind of probably the game that Tech would rather play, kind of go to war on the boards in the trenches there and get pucks deep and defend hard. And they certainly, like you said, Dave, they don't want to give up 21 shots, and they need more than 9. But UMD does a good job of defending. They've always done that, and it was a good period. It's a 1-0 score right now.
1-0 Bulldogs. We'll take a break to bring you back for the intermission report here on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network. Welcome back to Amsoil Arena, where UMD leads Michigan Tech 1-0 after 1 period of play. Right now on the ice with our Alexis Beckett is UMD fifth-year senior forward Quinn Olsen.
All right, Quinn, you guys are out shooting the Huskies 21-9. What's working so well for you guys offensively?
Yeah, I think we're playing Bulldog hockey. We're getting it down low. We're moving our feet. We're battling, and we're getting it up to the top, and those D are shooting. So we just got to keep creating chaos in front of the net and just keep doing that.
And Michigan Tech has an All-American goalie in Blake Pietola. How do you guys get some pucks past him?
Yeah, I think just, like I said, traffic in front of the net. I mean, start working in the corners, kind of create that chaos in front, make sure there's a guy always there, and use him as a screen to put some in.
And you said, it's game time. It's a little different than practice. How are you feeling first time back?
Yeah, it feels good. Obviously, you're battling against the same guys for a month there, but it's good to get a little different battle in, and I think we've got our legs under us now, so carried that into the second and third.
All right, thank you so much, Quinn. Guys.
Very much, Alexis. Appreciate it. And both these teams said after a month or so of preseason hockey, you're ready to see some guys in some other uniforms. So I'm sure they're both happy to have 1 period under their belt. Right now on the ice here at Amsoil Arena, being honored is former UMD and Michigan Tech head coach Mike Sertich, who it was announced this week will be receiving from the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame the Spirit of Life Award. And this is a man, a coach that has meant so much, not only to the program here at UMD, but then also his time with Michigan Tech.
Yeah, guys, I wouldn't be standing here if it wasn't for Mike Sertich. I was fortunate to play for him for a couple of years, was recruited by him and Jim Knapp and Glenn Kulik, the assistant coaches at the time. And, he's still around the program quite a bit. We see him. He's battled some health issues, but it's just wonderful to see him out there and very deserving of this honor.
He came to Michigan Tech at a really dark moment in the program. Stepped in mid-season after Tim Waters had left after a really rough start. And, didn't get all the wins that he wanted to, but he really solidified hockey at Michigan Tech. And I think it's just part of that respect for college hockey that Mike has. He really wanted to be a guy that was a program builder and wanted to help other teams get better, and make the sport better. And that, I think, is one of the great marks of a legendary coach. We've seen so many of them, and it's great to see Surdy out there being honored for doing just that.
You see there his stats of his time here with the UMD Bulldogs as a coach, that bottom line, the cancer that he was diagnosed with in 2022. In late August, his daughter Lori released a very uplifting message about Mike Surdich and his fight with cancer, saying that it is going very well. The doctors think that he is making, if not a full recovery, a very strong recovery. So we wish the Surdich family and Mike himself very well in the coming future. Congratulations on your Spirit of Life Award from the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame from everybody here at My9 Sports. The Bulldogs lead 1-0 after one period. After the break, you'll hear from the only goal scorer of this game so far. He is fifth-year senior captain Luke Lohheit for UMD. You're watching My9 Sports, the great TV network.
All right, Luke, coming into your fifth year, you had the A on your chest last year, have the C this year. What feels different coming into this season?
I mean, not a whole lot personally. I'm still going to be the person I am, be the leader I am. I feel like I learned a lot last year, just obviously having that role as a leader, and it doesn't change much. Like I said, I think all of us that, get into those roles are natural leaders, and that's just who we are as people. So like I said, I'm not going to change much, but obviously it takes on a bigger responsibility, and it's something I take pride in and hold myself to a big standard and expect a lot of myself each day. And yeah, it's a huge honor, obviously. And
now, last season, you were awarded the Mike Surdich Most Improved Player of the Year after having a breakout season with 19 points. What do you think prompted that performance and that growth?
Well, I think just learning from guys in previous years. Obviously, in years before, there's a lot of guys that, up and down our lineup is hard to get, hard to take advantage of different spots. And guys like the Cates brothers and Nick Swaney, and you go down the lineup, all these good players, great players that have now moved on and are playing professionally and at different levels, and it's hard to crack that. So I think last year just got opportunity, and I gained confidence throughout the year. And obviously, I played with a lot of guys that helped me out each night, like Dom and Ben and Quinny and those guys that, whether it was on the power play or 5-on-5, I think those guys just obviously helped me out every shift, night in and night out. And but yeah, I think it's a big confidence thing. It's a big opportunity thing. Once you get those opportunities, once you're in those experiences, you gain confidence with, different game settings, different situations that you're in. And like I said, you just continue to gain confidence, and I definitely did last year, and hopefully get to take that into this year too.
Now, you share this leadership responsibility with Quinn, and what is the sense going into this season? What conversations have you had, and kind of which direction to steer this team into the season?
I think some big things are just kind of figuring out who we are as a team and who we are as a group. I've talked a lot about it already this year, like just honoring those values of trust, honesty, respect, accountability, camaraderie, poise, confidence, all those things that go into creating a very solid group. And so I think once we have those values down, once we nail those values home with every single guy on our team, I think, the X's and O's will come.
Inside the House is brought to you by Bullion RV.
Welcome back to Amsoil Arena, Duluth, Minnesota, where UMD leads Michigan Tech 1-0 after 20 minutes of play in the season opener and this year's U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. I am Zach Schneider, joined in the booth by Judd Medic and Dave Ellis. For the home team, a pretty good opening stanza to this new season, Judd.
I think it was. I think they had a good period. I mean, obviously, shots on goal aren't everything, but 21-9 is a pretty good number that you take all the time. They had a power play chance, had a good power play, didn't get any grade A opportunities, but their success came from just keeping the game simple, getting pucks deep, and getting pucks to the net with some traffic. They're going to have to do that to beat this goaltender, Blake Pietila. He was the best player on the ice, making 20 of 21 saves there in that first period.
Bulldogs won a lot of races to the puck there too, guys, and that was one of the ways they generated those shots. If you watch every time that happens, Michigan Tech's head coach Joe Shawn will start putting that energy line out there when he sees the level start to drop a little bit, just to show the other guys, look, we need to pick it up. We need to be a higher energy level team than we're showing right now.
Teams back on the ice here for period number 2, the middle frame between the Bulldogs and Huskies, a top 20 matchup to start this season between the old WCHA foes. There's a look at Blake Pietola, who made 20 saves in that opening period for the visitors, Michigan Tech. Underway now in period 2. Luke Bast fires it in for the Bulldogs. Jed Pietola wraps it around to the far side. Chase Pietola tried to glove it down. It's flipped out to center ice. And Dubinsky will retrieve for UMD. Dubinsky starts the charge up ice. His pass was ahead of James. Kind of a sloppy exit for UMD. Didn't cost him much as Michigan Tech fumbled near the blue line, but here comes Works from the far side. Glove save made by Zach Staskal for UMD. Take a look at the pertinent stats through that opening period. Of course, the 1-0 score. Shots lopsided to UMD's favor, and the faceoffs fairly even. The power plays certainly incorrect there. 0 for 1 are both teams through 20 minutes.
The 0 is the big number. We don't care how many times they went out there. Nobody got a power play goal.
Right. Scott Sandlin may disagree with you.
That's true.
If his power play was 0 for 4 through 20 minutes, but we digress. Kukkonen along the far side half boards. Tried to flip it ahead for Biondi. Taken away by Tech. A long shot. That was deflected by the freshman defenseman Aaron Pionk. Now he delivers a hit in the far side. He's impressed in this opening 4 or 5 weeks of practice for Scott Sandlin, enough that he put him on the top pair. Now a rebound in front. They score! Rylan Mosley on the 3rd effort. He scores for Michigan Tech. It's 1-1.
Kukkonen's the mark guy on this line, guys. I think we've seen that one. And Rylan Mosley was feeling maybe a little snake bit after that first period chance that he got stuffed and almost had it happen again. A great play by Stashkull to come across there and make that first save. But get this, that's Michigan Tech's first goal in almost 154 minutes, dating back to the first round of the CCHA playoffs last year. We were talking before the game, guys. You could see the sawdust coming off their sticks because they were gripping them so tight. Just getting that goal maybe loosened things up on that black and gold bench.
Yeah, certainly a sigh of relief there from Mosley. As you could see, he was pretty happy, and nice job by him in front. A good skill play there to gather that puck and lift it over. Stagecall made the initial save, but that's a big goal. Again, guys, I talked about it. Giving up goals in the first and the last minute of periods is killers for coaches, and that's what Tech just went out and did, is get one early here.
Steves fires wide of the goal. Bettens ducks under a check, loses control of the puck. It's cleared as far as Bodnarchuk, who holds on the far side for UMD. So how does that tilt the ice? Coming out of the locker room for the second period. Goetz fires it toward the net. Pietola made a pad save. Not sure if it changed directions in front. Spicer was battling for position with Lachlan Getz. Now off the bench, this is Bass, the transfer from North Dakota. Steves, a rising shot, missed the net. He'll head off on a change. Dubinsky crashes down to hold the point for UMD. They move it around to the far side. Bast will do the same. Gives it to Mangini. Mangini walks in. That shot blocked before it got to Pietola. Dubinsky will fire it below the goal line. And he holds once more for UMD. Mangini picks it up. Far side circle. Across. They're looking for Bettens, who was camped out in front. It comes to Smith on the near side. Good response so far from UMD. Dubinsky fires in front. It goes to the far side. Pietola makes it. Maybe his best stop of the night, sliding left to right. Loney fights for it there. Smith has the puck for the Bulldogs. Gives it back to Loney. He knifes his way through the defense. The pass just missed Mangini. And then 2 Bulldogs collide. Rahman will move it out.
Yeah, great response by UMD there. You said it, Zach. They give up that goal, but they come right back with an answer there and get some pressure and a couple of good chances. And Pietola with that save, I agree. He stole that one out of nowhere.
Now Olsen to James. Fire save, Pietola. He's picked up right where he left off in the first period. 24 saves now already for Blake Pietola, the senior alternate captain for Michigan Tech. Huskies chase it to the near side. Pionk unable to hold at the near point, and a penalty coming now as tripped up was one of the Huskies. So to the power play will go Michigan Tech, a chance to grab their first lead of the hockey game.
Had to get their feet moving there, guys. That was a long shift that line got caught on out there that created the chance you talked about that Pietila made that stop. But when you start getting your feet moving, good things happen, and Pionk just kind of got his stick in the wrong place at the wrong time there. We didn't see much from this Michigan Tech power play unit in the first period. I want to see how they move the puck now and where it's going to be keying from. Watch Mosley. He may be the guy now on that right point that's going to be the trigger man that starts moving the guys around and gets the pieces on the right part of the board.
The Minnesota power play starts for Michigan Tech. The game tied 1-1. This unit, as Dave chronicled in the first period, much maligned last season, but a chance to score a big goal here early in the second period. This is Mosley, the goal scorer. Into the corner, he dumps it back for James, who picked off by James, who will fire it the length of the ice for UMD.
That's the kind of play that if you're not confident, you make those bad plays like that. If you have more confidence, you get better at the offense, and we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he's got to hold on to that puck there and just settle it down and show some composure instead of that blind kind of pass back up the wall.
2-on-1 battle along the near side. 45 seconds already gone in the minor to Aaron Pionk. 3-on-2 now they battle along the near side boards. It's dug free by Michigan Tech. Goes to the far side, picked up there by Mosley. Tries to double back, good pressure there by Goetz. Pierce can't wrap it around the boards. Broken stick there, cleared away. Comes to the near side, just out of the reach of Koskapurdy. And Goetz will go off the glass and out for UMD.
Well, if Chase Pietila executes and that pass is tape to tape, that's a grade A chance there. It was just beyond the Tech player. I didn't make out who it was, but that's walking off the wall like that. That's a pretty good opportunity there. It just got past his stick.
Kukkonen leads it ahead. Now it's Campbell at the line. Again, that drop pass. No good for Michigan Tech, another clear.
Judge, you're seeing the Huskies start to swarm toward the puck, too. That's the confidence level that you don't think your partner can go out there and make that play. You got to let your own guys make their plays, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to, or else you're just going to be scrambling, and UMD's going to clear the puck, just like here.
Final 10 seconds of the penalty kill for UMD, a pretty good one for the Bulldogs. As Pionk will be released back to 5-on-5 hockey here at Amsoil Arena. Perkins and Bast need to communicate there, and now it comes to Gallatin up the wall. He gives it to McMenamin. Tried to enter the zone, knocked away by the Huskies, blowing a tire there. One of the Michigan Tech defenders, but they move it ahead. And on the far side, a bouncing puck into the corner. It's picked up by Richards. Long shot from Bronte, saved by Stayskal. And now Perkins pass ahead. I think it hit the skates of the official. Biondi was up in arms as he thought he was behind the Michigan Tech defense. Michigan Tech centering pass out in front, and spinning a shot was Kataroth that just missed on the far side. McMenamin the other way. Ahead for Perkins. Leaves up for Biondi. One-timer. Save Pietila. Off the wall. Back come the Huskies. Through neutral zone. The Bulldogs take it away, and that pass up ahead missed Olsen. Biondi will bang it off the boards and in. It's left there behind for Chase Pietila. Long pass ahead, miss Marcinkiewicz, and an icing called here on Michigan Tech. It will give us a chance to shout out one of the best, most well-known Bulldogs of all time, Jack Connolly, part of that 2011 national title team, won the Hobey Baker a year later, played his 500th career game in the Swedish Hockey League earlier this week. That's a record for any player from the U.S. or Canada. So congratulations, Captain Jack, over there in Sweden. We're going to take a timeout. It's tied 1-1 here on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
Line 1, 2, or 3. He's going with number 3. And the correct answer was number 1. Thanks for playing, Jeremy. And
Back to live action here at Amsoil Arena. Olsen into the corner. This is Biondi, low height behind the goal. Tried to blind backhand pass to the middle. That was deflected away by Michigan Tech's defense, and now taken away and cleared to center by Max Koskapurdy. Bouncing puck to the far side. It bounces to Mosley. He had the goal earlier this period to tie the game. Pionk tried to flip it ahead for Olsen. The Pietola pair for Michigan Tech will fire it back deep into the Bulldog zone. Stayskal gloves it aside, leaves it for Gallatin. Has to fight through a check to give to Aaron Pionk. Long shot pass ahead for Olsen, who tips it deep. UMD will complete a line change. That long change in the second period, always something that we talk about, a point of conversation, especially early in the year where you already saw UMD take a too many men on the ice penalty. Now a puck free in front, and a quick shot from Logan Pietola is swallowed up by Zach Stayskal. And with that save, we will go down to our reporter between the benches, Alexis Beckett.
Yeah, Zach, one of the biggest concerns for this Bulldog team coming into this season and finishing last season is the team's identity. Head coach Scott Sandelin confirming that they didn't find it last year, but the best way to do that this season is to just be who they are. If they get too caught up in who they're not, then that's where they start to struggle. It's important that they just play what you hear them always say, Bulldog hockey, playing for each other no matter what line you are or who's next to you on the ice, guys.
He has emphasized that point several times throughout this preseason. One of the reasons he says he loves Connor McMenamin. Doesn't matter what line he's on, he goes out and plays his game every time he's on the ice. He compared him, which is big praise coming from UMD's head coach this week, to Noah Cates, Judd.
Well, that's a pretty good comparison, I'd say. We'll see. That's some pretty big shoes to live up to, but excited to watch him. It's always fun seeing the new guys. First game of the year, a couple of transfers, including McMenamin.
Now a pass ahead. This is Steves, a long shot saved by Blake Pietola. Steves will pick up his own rebound, tried to leave it for Bettens along those far boards.
Well, there you can see the skill play of Steves. Haven't seen much of him tonight. He's kind of a guy we wanted to watch as a key player, but there, a little toe drag, used the defenseman as a screen and a quick release, but Pietola, he's going to stop that if he can see it, certainly.
Bodnerchuk fires it ahead through neutral. Almost picking the pocket there was Jack Smith for UMD. It's in behind the goal. Pietola will leave it for Russell. He takes a hit from Mangini, and the puck out to the blue line, but not out of the zone. It's flipped in, and a bouncing puck almost handcuffed Pietola. After all the saves he's made, of course, that would be the one that would sneak past, but it was well wide of the senior goaltender. Approaching the halfway point now of period number 2. Darian Goetz from behind his own goal, out of the reach of Loney. Goetz now will follow up and flip it in. Those are some of those early season miscues where you don't go tape to tape and all of a sudden what looked like a clean breakout is foiled as Biondi causes the takeaway, fired one toward the front of the net. Now Pierce shoots from a long distance, and Pietola makes the simple stop for Michigan Tech.
You know, the Goats House up in Hermantown has got not just Minnesota Duluth stuff, but they've also got Michigan Tech gear in the house too, because remember, Darian's older brother Eric, a longtime 3-year standout, playing for the Huskies, and Joe Sean up in Houghton. So I would imagine, since there's only one playing in this game, you know where the loyalty is in the Goats family tonight. But there might be that little kind of, in the back of your mind, are we really supposed to be rooting against your alma mater, Eric?
Eric was a captain for Michigan
Tech.
He was
an alternate captain, yes. Scored a lot of big goals, too.
Battle in the near side corner after the offensive zone faceoff for UMD. Pierce, a shot that deflects up into the netting. And with that break in the action, let me take again some time to remind you that you can gear up for hockey season with UMD stores. Now through Monday, pick up select Bulldog hockey sweatshirts for $30, $40, or $55. Go shop the campus store on Kirby Drive or online anytime, anywhere at umdstores.com.
I'm not going to call us fire wagon, but we got better pace this period, don't we?
Yeah, and to be honest, a lot of it's coming off of these errant passes and transition games when we've seen Tech try to set up kind of a controlled forecheck where they almost, I don't want to say trap, but all of a sudden UMD did a good job in the first period of breaking that and getting up the ice. Not so much here in the second, and they turned it over, and that's actually how they led to that lone goal here that Michigan Tech did score. Opportunistic teams here, certainly.
Now a chance for Michigan Tech. Logan Pietola driven wide. Nice defensive play by Pierce. A penalty coming in the end. I'm not sure if it'll be Pierce or Lowhite who was engaged with Blaze Richards going to the net. But a penalty coming to UMD and Michigan Tech to its third power play of the game.
Well, Pierce slides out here, you'll see, and I think this is going to be the call on the trip. I'm not sure I agree with that. A player leaves his feet, he takes away the ice. There's got to be some responsibility on the player there to not skate directly into that. That's what it is, and he doesn't like the call either, Joey Pierce. What do you guys think? I mean,
well, what's the old saying, Judd? Good things happen when you go to the net. You know, when you drive in there and force the official to make that call, he's got to be able to get in and make that stop. I think if you would just let him stop there, there's really no danger because the pass was already not available for Pietola. So probably not one you want to put yourself in position of if you're the Bulldog defender there.
Third Minnesota power play of the game for Michigan Tech. Kataroff chases behind the goal, wraps it around to the near side. It's banged out to center ice by Smith. Mangini was chasing Jed Pietola, who moved it to the far side, and now it's flipped back in by the Huskies. Bodnerchuk intercepted by Pietola. Jed Pietola fired the one-timer. That was blocked and cleared by UMD.
Yeah, Darian Goetz, speaking of Goetz, he did a nice job there. Had the puck on his backhand there, but made sure he got it high and out of the zone. That's an easy one to flub. Give it right to the defenseman.
Campbell's shot was deflected to the high glass behind the goal of Stayskal. 8:45 to go in the period, 1:15 in the power play. Pass across for Pietola, blocked in front by Dubinsky, and he moves it ahead for Loney, who clears for UMD. Big block shot for Aiden Dubinsky. And now Cole Spicer, yeoman's work in the offensive zone, shorthanded, wins the puck back, and UMD will kill some more time with possession of the puck in the offensive zone. Gallatin and Dubinsky now rag the puck back to their defensive part of the ice and move it ahead with 45 seconds yet to play in the man advantage for the Huskies.
This is a clinic on how you kill a penalty.
Centering pass, and they almost added a short-handed chance. Right in front was Quinn Olson.
Well, this is one thing. You said it, Dave. This is a Scott Sandlin penalty kill. You'll see 3 or 4 pairings of guys go for 20 seconds hard and get off the ice. It's unbelievable, and they're rolling right now, and they're just relentless with this group. And he's got freshmen out there. He gives guys chances, and they're expected to do it. They take a lot of pride in that.
Great job getting sticks into passing lanes. Great job getting bodies into shooting lanes. It's really disciplined. And for the first day you can have official practice, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Bronte tried to bring it into the zone. First time I've seen Levi Stauber out there since the first shift of the game, and they just missed McMenamin, trying to spring him shorthanded. We're back to 5-on-5. He throws it to the middle, missed low height. He tried to go skate to stick. And UMD successful on its third kill of the evening. Back to the point, McMenamin. Floats one in off the knob of the stick of Pietola. Back to the point. Bast to the middle. Gives to Bettens, who cycles up high. Off the end dasher. Bast walks in, sharp angle. Rebound in front, and Pietola makes a couple more good stops for Michigan Tech. Rylan Mosley, the only goal of the period, has us tied 1-1 as we head to break on My9 Sports, the Gray TV Network. .6:52 to go here, second period, 1-1 our score. UMD leads the shots on goal 30-14. Guys, what we expected from game 1 of the season?
I mean, I didn't expect a lot going into this one. In fact, talking to Joe Sean before the game, he's usually a guy who's got all kinds of opinions. And Joe, what do you expect? I don't know. So that was very telling that they're just as confused as we are right now, guys.
I think so. I mean, it's a feeling out process. You're looking for habits and little plays out there and who you can trust in situations and who you can count on. And that's all a learned reaction here from these coaches as they're watching this game. And you certainly have a system you want to play, but it's hard to be perfect in your first game of the year, certainly.
2-on-2 now across the UMD line. Kataroth fires a shot that was high over the goal of Stay-Skull. Bettens tried to move it ahead for Spicer, but back defensively is Marcinkiewicz, who leads the rush for Michigan Tech. Poked away there. On the follow-up was Kataroth, but it's wide of the Stay-Skull goal. Now Marcinkiewicz has it far corner. Tech completes a line change with a possession of the puck. Williams walks in, fires one off the mask of Stay-Skull. It's cleared as far as Bast, who on the second effort now will ice it for UMD, and a face-off in the Bulldogs' defensive zone.
Marcinkiewicz is a guy that got from LIU that came in with a great reputation as a scorer on the power play. He's one of 5 portal guys that are on the ice tonight, guys, and get this. Nobody from the same place. They got one from the National Hockey Conference, one from Hockey East, one from ECAC, one from the WCHA, and the Independent. So they're casting the net everywhere for these portal guys.
That's a testament to their coaching staff and guys out watching a lot of hockey and just the program. But that was a nice skilled play up at the high on the blue line. Like you said, he's brought in to score goals, and that was a skilled play. You can see to be able to work his way into a shooting position there. That's what they need. They need goal scoring this year.
It's exactly right. It's what they're missing is the individual plays, because they've got the team dynamic. You can see that from watching out there. They don't have the guy that can go out and finish these plays at the end. My coach used to say, you know what? You can sing the verses all day long, but if you don't know the chorus, nobody knows the song.
The 5 transfer portal guys, maybe another reason Joe Sean doesn't know what he has yet in this team.
And a lot of freshmen, too. You're right.
He's got a goalie, I can tell you that.
Yes, we know that.
Williams walks in the near side circle, tried to go across the zone. It bounces back through the crease area. Williams now fires it back again where it came from. It's picked off by UMD's Olsen, who flips to center ice. He almost connects with Dominic James, but back defensively was Nick Williams for Michigan Tech. Williams now has the puck, slides it ahead. Mosley missed high on the glove side of Stay-Skull. It's held at the far side blue line. Mosley, he's had a motor this second period. He wins the puck back momentarily for Michigan Tech. Now James tried to knife through 2 defenders and can't, at least with control of the puck. And Michigan Tech plays it ahead. They'll wave off the icing. That might have caught a UMD stick on its way by. This is Olsen, 1-on-2. Line mates changing behind him, circles behind the net. Tries to move it in front, and it misses everybody back out to center ice. Gets back to get it for Michigan Tech. Moves it to Matthew Campbell on the near side. He'll flip to center ice. More of a territorial game in the second half of this second period. Whereas in the first 10 minutes, it felt like UMD and Michigan Tech, 2 teams not known for it, were going end to end.
Yeah, a lot of turnovers here. It was a puck possession game. UMD had success in the first when they got pucks low and they were protecting pucks, cycling the puck. But to the second period has been the opposite of that, where just forcing plays into bad areas and turnovers on both ends. But it's just going to take one of these, and one of these teams is going to capitalize on it.
21 shots on goal in the first period for UMD, just 9 so far in the second period. An icing here on Michigan Tech, and it will give us time, Dave, to catalog the Pietolas of past and present for Michigan Tech. Let's see if we get this right.
Oh boy.
Logan and Blake on the team this year are twins.
Yep.
Chase is their younger brother. Jed is their cousin and childhood next-door neighbor. Those are the 4 this year. Other Pietolas to play in the past for Tech include Phil, Aaron, Chad, and another Blake. And oh yeah, Jimmy Pietola, a current student assistant for Michigan Tech.
And the soccer teams have them too, and I think I should have just changed my name to Pietola for you guys to keep everything straight, right?
Did we get it all correct?
Oh, you got, I think we're probably missing 7 or 8 more that we haven't forgotten.
It's unbelievable. I mean, it is, you can't make it up.
And like Joe Sean said, if we could get 20 of them, I'd take 20 Pietolas, because it's just that kind of a family and that kind of a mentality that they all have.
As you mentioned, if they play a 3-on-3 overtime this season, there's a chance that all 4 players on the ice could be Pietolas.
You can.
And I hope it happens.
Just not tonight, right?
Well, it might happen tonight, I was going to say, the way we're going. So.
Yeah, that's the stat we haven't brought up. These 2 teams have played 2 times before in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game, 81 and 90, and both of those games finished in a tie, 6-6 and 2-2. We're on pace.
We are.
Both of those scores still in play here on Saturday night in the season opener. Just over 3.5 minutes to go, second period. Right now it's 1-1. Rylan Mosley, the only goal of this period after Luke Lowhite had the Bulldogs ahead 1-0 in the first period. Smith into the zone for the Bulldogs. Knocked away by Kadaroff into the corner. It goes to the far side. Loney on the hunt. Nick Williams pokes it away from him. Kadaroff, the big body in the center of the ice, moves it into the corner. Now it's Kadaroff who will flip it in for Michigan Tech. 3 minutes to go. James across the red line, ahead for Olsen. Leaves it for James. Tried to hit. That was Pierce who was cutting to the front of the net.
Yeah, I like that defenseman Pierce.
Olsen through the top of the crease area.
Jumping up in the play, getting active. We know Scott Sandlin loves his active defensemen and trying to make an impact in this game.
This is Works for Michigan Tech. A sharp angle shot that's gloved and held by Stayskal with 2:28 to go, second period.
Isn't it a shame these two teams don't play more often, guys? This is actually, we've seen different styles out there, but it's fun hockey when they get together. And well, some fans wouldn't know because they haven't played together in the league for so long. This is the 233rd time that these schools have met on the ice. That's a lot.
I believe, Judd, it's the opponent that UMD has played the most.
I think it is too. I was going to say that. I know it's for sure top 2 or 3 in played opponents for UMD. I mean, dating back, like you said, Dave, back to the first ever game in the arena in Michigan Tech.
Yep.
Michigan Tech leads the all-time series, but UMD has won the last 3 meetings, including the big one in the 2022 NCAA tournament. That one a 2-0 win for the Bulldogs. Offside whistle as Michigan Tech thought it had something going. A 2-on-1 from the tops of the circles in.
Yeah, the Michigan Tech faithful here didn't like that one. We heard the groans up here in the booth, and the bench kind of erupted as well.
That's right on line with them, too. The assistant coach. Yeah, Jordy Murray's looking right down there. Yeah. By the way, he's a great story, too. Jordy Murray's dad, Andy Murray, the longtime NHL coach and the head coach at Western Michigan. So
correct.
I think his family knows the building pretty well here.
Speaking of hockey lineage there, great hockey family.
Andy's daughter, Sarah, played women's hockey here in Duluth.
I mean, it's not to the Pietla level yet, but we could get some Murrays in there, right?
Yeah, she won a national championship with the Bulldogs, so the Murray family always welcome in these halls of Amsoil Arena and the deck. Final 90 seconds now of period number 2. Logan Pietla tried to go deep in the zone. It's picked off by Bettens, who leads the charge. Moves it to the far side. Steves back to Bettens to the backhand. Saved by Blake Pietla. Good passing play there between Bettens and Steves. And now Steves has it back. Gives it to Bettens once more to the forehand. Tried to go back to Steves. Nothing doing. Dubinsky, far side Gallatin, in front, tipped in front, the rebound, save made, and then over the stick of an oncoming Kyle Bettens. Blake Pietla, your turn to pull the rabbit out of the hat. Now it's Chase Pietla, and that shot deflected up over the glass, out of play.
Judd, do you ever get that feeling when a goalie's in your head?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely. Look at this. As he sprawls across on Steves, and then the second chance as well. A good job by Tech to collapse and clear that puck, but unbelievable job by Tech to defend there. But it was Blake Pietla once again, the best player on the ice tonight so far, with his 32nd save of the night.
He just reads the play so well, and you don't see many read and react goaltenders anymore. Most of the guys are just, hey, hit me with the puck because I happen to be in the right place. Well, he's so good at reacting.
And to be honest, if Pietla is 6'2", 6'3", 6'4", he's not here right now.
Yep,
he's definitely gone. And what's probably held him back is that he's not a big NHL-style goalie yet. But, hey, you know what? Hunter Shepard, former Bulldog, wasn't either, and he won a Calder Cup last year and might find some time in the NHL this year. So when you're that athletic and that good, you're going to get an opportunity.
I think Joe Sean has made comments in the past about Pietla's size, saying if he was 6'2", 6'3", he wouldn't be at Michigan Tech either. He would have gone to a more blue chip type of program, and he'd be in the professional ranks right now.
Well,
so
of course he'd be at Michigan Tech. He's a
Pietla.
for God's sakes, right?
The family bloodlines run deep in Houghton. Out in front, a chance, and Stayskal makes the save. The puck still free on the far side. I heard another pad for Stayskal as players bang away from it. 10 players below the tops of the circles as the second period comes to a close. A mad scramble in front of the UMD goal, but we close 40 minutes. The game tied 1-1.
That was Mosley that got knocked down from behind and still managed to get up and get another opportunity. Watch 11 come in here, thought he had the first one, missed on the second, then he got knocked down, and that puck is still loose under the skates, under the gloves. Great job by Stayskal to keep that leg down. Like we said, you know, sometimes you want to be in the right spot where the puck just hits you, and it did maybe 4 times in that pile. It's still loose in there. Boy, that was awfully close to seeing a hand on that, too. That's really fun stuff at the end of the period.
What a great finish.
1-1 after 2. We'll take a break, bring you back for more. You're watching Bulldogs hockey here on My9 Sports, the Gray TV network. Rylan Mosley gets Michigan Tech on the board in that second period. He and the Huskies now tied with the UMD Bulldogs 1-1 here after 40 minutes of play. Right now on the ice is the UMD goal scorer. He is fifth-year senior captain Luke Lohheit with our Alexis Beckett.
All right, Luke, you said earlier this week at the presser that this first period might be a little messy, and then you come out and score the first goal. How does it feel just to get into gameplay after all that time of practice?
Yeah, it feels good. Like I said, it's been a little messy. We're still trying to figure out some stuff, but it was good to get the first one. Obviously, they tied it up, so we got to come back with a response. I like the shifts after, but got to get one here, so it's been good, though.
Anything else specifically you guys think you need to change up? Obviously, they have a great goalie in there, Blake Pietila. How do you guys get some more passing?
Yeah, just keep peppering them. Just keep getting pucks on net. Keep going low to high, getting pucks up high and get pucks in net, just like the first goal was. We got buys to the net and it ended up going in. So if we keep doing that, we're gonna find the pucks in the back of net. We just gotta keep to it, gotta trust it, and we'll be fine.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, Alexis. And the captain said it there, Judd. The third period moving forward, this game might not have been perfect, but this win could mean a lot come springtime and NCAA tournament selection time.
Absolutely. I mean, anything can happen. It's a long year, but everything counts and everything matters, certainly.
They're running the shooter game out there right now with the shooter to the guys, and the way these two goalies are playing, I think you could have left them out there and had just as much chance of winning the contest. Both of them making amazing saves in that second period to keep us at 1-1.
And not for lack of offensive chances or offensive ability. They've made each of them some grade A saves through the first 40 minutes.
I mean, point blank scrambles in front of the net, and again, tracking pucks and finding where they are and just moving, being athletic. Two tremendously athletic goalies as we see here, a couple of breakaways, but it's a great game. I mean, we figured it would be a little bit low scoring, which it has been, and mad flurry to end that period was incredible. And I mean, you can see Stage Call just fighting to keep that puck in front of them and finding it, and with no success for Tech to get the go-ahead.
I think we can safely say it's not going to be an odd man rush pretty goal. It's going to win this game, guys. You're going to have to just work your way to get that winning goal.
Yeah. That's how these two programs have built their entire existence, really. UMD and Michigan Tech tied 1-1 through 40 minutes. Who will play hero on the season's first night for these two teams? The Bulldogs and the Huskies. Will have more on the intermission report right after this. My9 Sports, the Gray TV network.
All right, welcome back to Bulldog Hockey on My9 Sports. We're blessed with a special guest today. We get 3 people in here today?
Well, I mean, Alexis, if you're going to have me around, you're going to make me talk a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
No, this is great being here. I've really appreciated everything that you guys have done to get me onto the telecast, and we're watching a great game out there tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
A great game. Love to see it from both sides. Nobody really knew what to expect coming into this one, especially on that UMD side. But next week, we have another special guest that you also know something about.
Well, I mean, our station in Marquette, at WOUC, TV6 and Fox UP, our deal is we televise all of the Michigan Tech, Northern Michigan rivalry games in every sport. Women's soccer, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, football, and of course, our big one is hockey. So we're really excited to see Northern Michigan coming over here to play another Lake Superior type team and get a chance to be on with you guys as well. Michigan Tech and Northern Michigan, longtime rivals, and we've seen a lot of rivalries around college hockey. these two take a backseat to nobody. They're a lot of fun to watch, and you're going to see a much different style because Northern, much more up and down the ice. They like to go out, try to really beat you with their speed. Not like Michigan Tech that tries to beat you in those tight areas. It's going to be a much different game next week for the Bulldogs to prepare for.
Absolutely, and of course, it's the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. I see you've got the pin there. You went.
I gave you one. You didn't get a chance to wear it, right?
I didn't want to lose it down there. You know, I'm between the benches. I want to make sure it's in a safe place. But tell us a little about that.
It was great. I really got a great opportunity to go up there and see it, and there weren't a lot of people around, which meant I could just kind of take my time, look at the exhibits, look at some of the, hey, I know that name, hey, I remember this thing, and it's really well presented. And for a 50-year-old building, it's really well kept up. I thought the exhibits were great. I think everybody that was there was very friendly. I ended up buying a jersey, and for 50 years, when you can have that kind of thing in your backyard, if you're on the Iron Range, you're really lucky around here to have that kind of a resource. 56 minutes. Of course, there are going to be a lot of Minnesotans in the Hockey Hall of Fame in the U.S., but I did find a lot, too, from our area, back in Upper Michigan, 2 or 3 from my hometown, and I found a picture in there that I think my grandfather was in one of the teams that was pictured up on the wall. So it was really great to just kind of get a feel for history and feel like you're a part of it walking in the door, too.
Absolutely. Now we still have another period of hockey to play here. What are you expecting coming in?
It's going to be a greasy goal. I can't see a pretty one coming here, but whoever works the hardest in this period, I think ends up with the goal. It's not going to be one that's pretty. So if you're in that locker room right now, put on your lunch hat, get your hard hat ready, and go out there and work hard in this last 20 minutes. There's no tomorrow. It's just one game on the weekend. We'll see who works harder in the third.
There you go. One more period. Thank you so much, Dave, for joining us today. We really appreciate it.
And we get another period together, and next week, too.
And you get to come back.
I can't wait.
Thank you so much. We'll have more Bulldog hockey tied up 1-1 here at Amsoil. We'll be back.
Well, welcome back here to Amsoil Arena, where it is 1-1. UMD and Michigan Tech tied after 40 minutes, 20 minutes to decide things, and maybe more. Here at Amsoil Arena, the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game and the season opener for these two programs. Around campus, some other scores from UMD earlier this afternoon. The women's hockey team completed a weekend sweep of Long Island. Back-to-back shutouts, back-to-back hat tricks for that UMD women's hockey program in their season opening series. The football team went on the road and lost the first game of their season 28-18 to Wayne State, and the volleyball team dropped a 3-1 match on the road as well to Southwest Minnesota State. So elsewhere around Bulldog country, not as much joy, but the women's hockey team completed a season opening sweep of Long Island. The men's hockey team hoping to complete what would be a successful opening weekend here against Michigan Tech.
Yeah, I mean, they're in good shape here. It's, the old saying, win 20 minutes, you win a game. That goes for both guys, obviously, tonight. 1-1 tie here headed into the third period. I think for Tech to come out and keep things simple and take care of the pucks, and they're, kind of play that traditional road period where maybe they get one early and kind of hang on and play well defensively with this goaltender. Really, he's not going to give up much. So Pietl has been unbelievable tonight, and UMD needs to get something by him.
How's this for ironic, too, guys? UMD today in football loses to Wayne State of Nebraska. Michigan Tech lost to Wayne State of Michigan. So they're both trying to come back from an afternoon football loss to Wayne State today. No, I think you're right, though. That this is going to be a period of just who's the one that wants to go out there and work the harder team. And if you can be the one that works harder, you're going to be the one that ends up with the winning goal.
Yeah. UMD will need to execute. They didn't take care of pucks very well in that second period. They turned it over, and that's kind of what led to that lone goal by Michigan Tech. So we'll see if they can kind of sharpen up a little bit and maybe make a good play. Like you said, Dave, it's going to be probably something ugly, just throwing a puck on the net, and the screen goaltender's not going to be able to stop it.
Early chance maybe for Michigan Tech. Marcinkiewicz defended nicely by Dominic James on the back pressure for the Bulldogs. He wins the puck in the corner, and now it's Lowhite who leaves it for James for UMD. The old adage, 20 miles for 20 smiles. Ruined a bit by the extra skater rule in the NCAA. We don't have yet a good replacement, so we'll stick with what works. This is Perkins across the blue line. Sidesteps the hit of Campbell. Mosley follows him into the corner. Biondi spins away from the check of Campbell. Pionk will crash down from his spot on the point. 60 seconds gone now in period number 3. Expect a tight checking period from these two programs. Built on their structure, both of them, with their current head coaches. McMenamin tried to center a pass from the corner. It's out to the point, held nicely by Gallatin. Now it's McMenamin, the transfer from Penn State. If we get a moment, Dave will share with the audience what Michigan Tech fans will remember as nightmares about Connor McMenamin.
Yeah, he's playing his second straight game against the Huskies, because he was on that Penn State team that won 8-0 in the Allentown Regional last year. So if you saw that and had some PTSD right away, there's a reason he scored one of the goals in that game.
It's not the only reason that UMD went out and got him from the transfer portal, but it is a bonus for UMD, I would imagine.
Right off the bat, yeah, you're going to use him for that.
Tech able to clear, and Goetz will retrieve in his own zone. Steves slides it ahead. Bettens open ice. A shot missed well wide on the stick side. Goetz fires one. Pad save Pietola. Bettens continues on back to the point. Bodnarchuk holds momentarily. Now a 2-on-1 developing. Bodnarchuk did well to get back. Logan Pietola hits the trailer. A shot. Stayskal top of his crease. Makes the save. Isaac Gordon from the slot area. Grade A scoring chance for Michigan Tech.
Well, Logan Pietola makes a great play across the line there as we look at some stats from the second period, but a nicely executed 3-on-2 and a good quality shot on goal.
Shots really evened up in that period, guys. Michigan Tech outshot the Bulldogs in the second, and give full credit to Levi Stauber on that last play. He was the guy driving the net to take the D back there and give the opportunity to Gordon. Just a great stop by Stayskal.
Yeah, absolutely. Good execution on that 3-on-2. You want to have a net front present, a guy driving that middle lane, and that's exactly what he did.
What a storybook ending that would be for Levi Stauber. Probably in his last game, playing in front of what is essentially his hometown crowd, his family and friends.
8.4 miles from dead center ice at AMSOIL Arena to his house in Hermantown. So yeah, this is as local as you're ever going to get playing college hockey.
2.5 minutes gone here, third period. The shots 35-25 in favor of UMD. The score tied 1-1. The officials will try to separate guys for the face-off. Good luck to them as this game gets closer and closer. Down the stretch, a shot that's deflected up over the glass and out of play.
These energy guys are back out there again for Michigan Tech, fellas. And when you see Bronte winning those faceoffs, he's the guy with speed, and he's really driving that defensive pair back, not allowing them to really attack the puck. And that's why that wide space is available. You've got to be able to make that transition to get out there and get your stick in the lane.
Two teams that play essentially the same way as far as rolling all four lines, getting 3 D pairs involved, and obviously early in the season it's more important to see kind of what you got, but two coaches that have similar styles in terms of that as well. Scott Sandlin has said leading into the season, we might be a team full of second lines. We might not have a top line, we might not have a fourth line. I don't know yet. We got to find out, and that's really up to the guys to decide as the season moves forward. Loney tried to fire it in, then he's tripped up. Mangini provides some help, and he wins the puck. Has it in the far corner. Towards the front through the crease area. It goes off the wall. Pionk able to hold. Moves it to Gallatin, middle point, long shot. And Pietola, I think, got a piece of that one on its way by. Back to Pionk, winds and fires the rebound. A shot, they score! Anthony Mangini, the freshman, his first as a Bulldog. UMD leads it 2-1.
Well, they'll collect that puck for him, like you said, Zach. His first collegiate goal. Anthony Mangini, and again, you know what, guys? Similar to the first goal for UMD, and we heard Luke Lohai talk about going low to high and just getting pucks to the net, and that's exactly what happens here. Pionk gets the puck, does a nice job with a heavy shot that gets its way through, Pietola makes the save, but that rebound, you know, he can't control everything, and Mangini just cuts to the net, he beats his guy and just slides it in. And that's, again, it's not a pretty goal, but when you have a good goaltender like Pietola, you got to just get traffic and pucks to the net and be Johnny on the spot, and that's what Mangini did there.
Big size disparity between Mangini and Lachlan Getz, who was the defender on that play too. He just outworked him to be able to get that stick on the puck.
We just talked about how the fourth line could be important for these teams. Anthony Mangini skating on UMD's fourth line, gets his first collegiate goal. Played last year in the USHL with the Fargo Force, and now has the Bulldogs up 2-1, their second one-goal lead of the hockey game. Marcinkiewicz moved it to the middle. Good stick by Gallatin to knock that puck away, and now Tech is in offside, so they'll have to touch up. Aaron Pionk going to get his first collegiate point on that Mangini goal as well, as he provided the assist on the shot from the point. So that energizes the crowd here at Amsoil Arena, trying to urge their Bulldogs to a season-opening win, and now a penalty behind the play.
As Luke Lohheit had a collision with Pietola in the offensive zone. They're talking about this as it maybe was something more. Was it contact to the head? Just call it a roughing, but you'll see here at the top of your screen, right on the, yeah, I believe it's on the boards there.
This is the in-house Amsoil Arena replay feed, the feed that the officials would look at if they would review it. There it is.
Yep. Lohheit comes in and call it a charge, call it a rough, but it looks like he kind of lunged in, and Pietola wasn't able to defend himself there. So anything hard and high like that typically gets called nowadays as a dangerous play. So
got to be careful when you're throwing that hit if you leave your feet like that.
It looks like he kind of lunged, didn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
the fourth power play of the game, the Minnesota power play for Michigan Tech. A chance to even things up shortly after UMD retakes that one-goal lead.
Well, we'll see what kind of adjustments this Tech power play has made. Their last attempt, I think UMD probably had the puck a little bit more than Tech did on that power play. Credit to their penalty killers, but we'll see what they can do here.
Mosley shoots it around the boards. Chase Pietola, middle point, moves it to the far side. Walking down in the circle now. Marcinkiewicz behind the goal. Mosley tried to sweep it toward the point. It's taken away nicely by Mangini, the goal scorer, and they'll get a clear. They'll get 4 new killers on the ice, will UMD. Gordon shoots it around to the far side. Olsen, the first one there, feeds it back to the defenseman, and a good clear from Aiden Dubinsky for the Bulldogs.
You know, just a couple years ago, this Tech power play was lethal, hitting 26, 27%, but they were so dependent on the seniors like Alec Bretzman, Trenton Bliss, and when they left, they just haven't ever replaced them, and they can't run the same system without those guys in the lineup.
They really haven't gotten set up much in their 3+ power plays so far tonight.
No, there have been better scoring chances shorthanded for UMD on these Tech power plays.
On that last rush, another zone entry broken up almost immediately by UMD. Now Logan Pietola will enter the zone. Gives it to the middle, Kataroff, back to Pietola in the corner. Still 30 seconds to go on the power play for Michigan Tech. Loney digs it free, and he will skate to center and dump in for UMD. That should kill most of the remaining minor penalty to the captain, Luke Lohheit, although a quick exit for Michigan Tech. Time for one last rush. Kukkonen to Pietola, near side, across to the far side, and a good stick from McMenamin knocks it away. Big hit levied by Darian Coates, and a fan on the clearing attempt by Bodnerchuk. The puck held in. Pietola in front, one-timer fanned on. Lohheit out of the box, and a rolling puck will get in on Blake Pietola as he moves it ahead. Dangerous looking play there as the power play comes to an end for the Huskies. Biondi ahead for Perkins. He drives to the right wing side. Stymied there by Williams. Continuing on to the near side now is Michigan Tech. Out through neutral ice in the skates, but Stauber picks it up, gives it to Mosley. Pionk out of his reach. And now it's Raymond. Cuts through the slot area, couldn't get a shot away. In front was Bronte, never got to him, but he picks it up. Centering pass just out of the reach of Raymond. Now Bronte has it again. This time centers for Stauber. It's in his skates, can't get a shot away. Michigan Tech, after the power play ended, actually has put together a couple good shifts and put some pressure here on UMD with 12:45 to go here, third period.
Yeah, really good response by Tech after that power play. Obviously didn't have anything to show for it, but the fact that they came back and won that next shift is a big momentum keeper and swing for them to be able to come back out and control the game.
Nice move to the net there by Max Koskapurti, the Finnish freshman for Michigan Tech. Stayskal had to be big in his net to make the save. Gets across the red line, moves it to the far side. Canceling that play out was Dubinsky for UMD. Now Mosley tried a centering pass. It rolled off his stick. Dubinsky pass toward the middle. Jumping over a check was Lohheit. The puck still in the offensive zone. No, it's not. They call an offside, and the Michigan Tech faithful disagree with that, and I agree with them.
Yeah.
As I don't think that puck ever left the zone for Michigan Tech. We will step aside. Anthony Mangini, the freshman, his first collegiate goal, has the Bulldogs up 2-1 here on My9 Sports, the Gray TV Network. Back to live action here at AMSOIL Arena. James, the steal, leaves it for Lohheit. He fires, and Blake Pietola, top of his crease, makes a very important save for Michigan Tech.
That's the kind of thing that experienced goaltenders do, guys. When you're looking at where Loheit's got that puck as a right-handed shot, if you cheat toward the player, you're going to be all the way over onto your right post and leave that back door open. Pietola plays the puck, not the man, and Lohheit, trying to go back door on that one, found the goaltender was sitting right there waiting for that shot.
Yeah, he was well out on the top of that blue paint there too. Not really much for Lohheit to shoot at. He kind of looks like he hits him in the chest, but it's, to your point, it's because he's so square to the shooter, right? Square to the puck, and there's really nowhere to go there.
Sometimes it's good to make the easy saves look hard. He's a much better goalie when he makes the hard saves look easy.
Yeah.
Spicer leaves it behind the net for Bettens. Puck free for a moment, picked up by Logan Pietola. He will flip it ahead out to center ice. Moving it ahead is Gordon across the UMD line. Picked up by Steves, who will circle behind the Bulldogs' goal. Leaves it for Goetz, but out of his reach, so UMD scrambling a bit in their own zone. Ahead for Steves, held at the line by Russell. In front, and a backhanded shot from Pietola was wide. Steves ahead for Bettens, tic-tac-toe with Spicer as those two will enter the zone. End of the shift for this line. Let's see how long they're in the offensive zone. Not long, it turns out, as Michigan Tech back the other way. Gordon, defended by Gallatin, pushed into the wall, and the puck taken away now by Joey Pierce. Ahead for the goal scorer this period, that's Anthony Mangini. He has it poked away at center ice. Following up with Spicer, who gets it deep. Gallatin in his own zone once more for UMD. Mangini to Loney. They tried to go 1-2 through the neutral zone. Mangini will just have to get it behind the goal of Blake Pietola, who has made 37 saves so far in the hockey game, but he and the Huskies trail 2-1.
Well, you're going to see a lot of that here in the closing half of this third period. UMD just getting the line and just getting it in behind the Michigan Tech defenseman, not wanting to turn the puck over at the blue lines, right? That's a key thing you'll hear coaches talk about. No turnovers at the blue lines. Get pucks into the zone, make them turn and go back for it, establish that forecheck and just play it safe, but still be aggressive, obviously, and maybe get a couple turnovers on this inexperienced Michigan Tech defense corps.
James wins the draw here for UMD. The pass back to the point. Didn't connect with Luke Bast. And back to their own zone. This is Dubinsky and now Bast. Tried to connect with Lohheit, but it's knocked back in the zone by Michigan Tech. Not many of those clean plays that we've been talking about all night available to either of these teams as the clock stops with exactly 10 minutes to go here in the third period.
Good spot for a reset, right?
Faceoff will come right at center ice. And we will continue on. 10 minutes to go here in the final period of regulation in this year's U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. Blake Pietola leaves it for Jed Pietola. Long pass ahead. He finds Marcinkiewicz to the forehand. He scores! Patrick's Marcinkiewicz. We're tied. It's 2-2.
Well, what did we say? They brought him in for offense. He wasn't necessarily a guy that was a 200-foot player, but when you're down a goal, that's what you need. Found the space in behind the D, shook off that defender, and went bar down. Boy, that's the kind of thing that's been missing from Michigan Tech. Just that individual skill on the break to be able to get that puck up in the air. He was in tight there too, Jet. That's not a lot of room that he had to get that puck airborne.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move there and a great executed breakout there. Just a long bomb pass. He gets in behind Riley Bodnarchuk, and who looked a little bit turned around there. And what a goal there. Michigan Tech ties this game up on a beautiful breakaway goal.
The Latvian national with his first goal in a Michigan Tech uniform. He played last year for Long Island, where he scored 6 times as a freshman. A big goal in his Michigan Tech debut. So a brand new hockey game with 9.5 minutes to play. 2-2 our score. Michigan Tech has not led to this point. UMD has led twice, but only to see the Huskies battle back. And now a penalty coming to Michigan Tech out in front. Spicer fans on the one-timer. And now the whistle as Michigan Tech touches up, some pushing and shoving at the end. But UMD will go to the power play. It's second of the night.
Yeah, it was Connor McMenamin and down in the corner here. Goes in to retrieve that puck, and you know, this call, you have to call it, but honestly, guys, he turns right at the last second. You'll see it here. He goes in, he turns his body from behind and gets cross-checked from behind. Right here, just kind of protects the puck. I mean, it's a little aggressive with that extension of the arm, so it's got to be called, but you know, the player's going in to engage and make contact while the player's facing him, but then he turns at the last second, and it's got to be called, but Williams just trying to play tough and make contact in the corner there. He's got to watch his stick, that's all.
He has both penalties tonight, guys, and he is a rookie. That's the kind of thing that as you learn in your career, you're not going to make those plays anymore, but it's his first game tonight.
Well, you know, he's sitting in the box right now. We've all been there where he's just praying that they don't score here.
Minnesota power play for UMD. Their second of the game. Gallatin, long shot. That was blocked in front and cleared by Michigan Tech.
This is a different look here, too, Judd. They're playing a 1-3 instead of the box. They're letting that opportunity to work the puck at the points right now. It's up to UMD to get that lateral movement to get these guys moving around a little bit.
Yeah, Owen Gallatin, the defenseman here, as that puck goes out of play, let's hope everyone's okay. But he's the quarterback here, and this is a kind of a newer role for him. As you know, we've been blessed with some pretty good power play units over the years here with guys like Scott Perunovich and the Cates, obviously, and a lot of skilled players running power plays. So not, again, similar to Tech, we don't have the one standout here at UMD is here to quarterback this thing. Owen Gallatin, number 20, is the guy, but he's got to make better decisions than just throwing pucks, and he can't get them blocked there like he did there. He's got to find open area, open ice, open sticks to shoot for. He doesn't have a heavy shot. He's going to have a smart shot.
He's a left-handed shot. Do you want him more central right now on the blue line where he can look both ways?
Well, I think they're just going to try to, again, they're probably going to try to just find lanes, whether he has to pull the puck to the right side and get it through or walk the line across to find it, but he's just got to get openings.
So far, nothing doing on this power play chance for UMD. 1 minute gone, 1 minute to go with the man advantage. They get the second unit over the boards. Biondi ahead for Bast. He'll stop in the corner. Back for Aaron Pionk, who's the quarterback of this number 2 unit. He tried to move it to the far side. Bast is deflected but not out. McMenamin to the middle. Biondi in the circle. He had it knocked away but regains control.
Watch for the one-timer in the middle of the ice from Biondi if they can get it down low and then quickly back up to him.
Perkins to Biondi, spins and fires, pad save Pietola. Bast to Pionk, middle point. Bast fires, rebound in front, Biondi, and Pietola makes 2 or 3 good saves in that sequence. 23 seconds to go in the power play.
Well, Biondi got all that, and to your point earlier, Pietola's out, square to the shooter. It just hits him because he's in the right spot. I mean, an incredible save. Good job by him.
See Biondi go back, look at the bench and say, no, I'm not coming off. I'm staying on here trying this again. He was right in the, that's where you want to be. Sometimes the goalie just makes the stop, Judd.
23 seconds in the power play, 7:29 in the period. Pionk to Bast at the far side. Back to Pionk. Final 5 seconds. Long shot. Save made. Rebound available for a moment, then cleared. Perkins threw it through the middle. We're back to 5-on-5 as Williams is released. Pionk through neutral ice. He's going to be offside at the line. UMD hasn't touched it yet, so we continue on, but they have to clear the zone. And here comes Michigan Tech at the UMD line. They'll flip it behind the goal of Zach Stayskal. Centering pass from Bronte is picked off and cleared by UMD. Getz steps up just outside the offensive zone. And then Genie will pick it up there for UMD. He gains the red line, flips it behind, and will give chase. Campbell moves it to Getz. Ahead, that's too far. Gallatin towards the net. It's blocked off by Getz. He has it taken away by Jack Smith. Centering pass, that was knocked away. Couple dangerous looking plays there for UMD, but they couldn't get the puck to the front of the net. And now an icing on Michigan Tech with just over 6 minutes to go here in period number 3. We'll take the chance to remind you one final time, Bulldogs fans, the UMD Store's annual balloon sale comes Wednesday, October 11th. Shop for your UMD gear, pop a balloon at checkout, save 25 to 100% of your entire purchase of UMD wear and gifts. The event only available at the campus store on Kirby Drive, so don't miss this year's UMD Store's balloon sale this coming Wednesday, October 11th.
Well, it's interesting on both sides here to see who coaches are going to put out in these situations. I mean, it's an important game, guys, but let's be honest. The first game of the year, you're learning your team. You know who you think should be in these situations. Tie game, who can you count on?
Quick shot there from Olsen is stopped and held by Pietola. Will step aside. 2-2 the score here on Minot Sports, the great TV network. Tonight's Castle Danger Brewery check of the game delivered in the first period by UMD sophomore Riley Bodnerchuk. That is tonight's Castle Danger Brewery check of the game. 5:45 to go, tie game 2-2. Somebody gets to play the hero for UMD or Michigan Tech. Kukkonen across the line. Slides it ahead. Mosley, a shot right into the logo. And we talk about Blake Pietola being square to the shooter. Zach Stayskal does the same the other end.
Yeah, nice save there. This line's been great. They've been getting better the whole game, I'd say. Obviously, Mosley had the first goal, assisted by the other two. But they're dangerous. They've got that skill. They've got that higher-end talent that you're going to see some pretty good offense out of them this year, I think, as they form that chemistry.
It's just not the personality of this team to come back, though, guys. I know this is a new season, but last year, you look at it, Michigan Tech was 17-1-1 when they scored the first goal of the third period and 1-9 when they didn't. So we saw that tonight. This is definitely going against the grain of what we'd expect from the Huskies.
Poked out to center ice, foot race with Steeves and Russell. Steeves did well to tie up the stick of Russell and create a battle along the near side boards. Gets some help from Kyle Bettens. The battle continues in that corner. Spicer looming near that near side faceoff dot for UMD as we tick past 5 minutes to go here, third period. Steeves has it to Spicer. Pietola makes a great save. Right on the doorstep was Cole Spicer.
Well, you could see that developing as Spicer was ready, waiting, knowing that if Steve's got that puck, he was going to open up for that one-timer, and that's exactly what he did. They read each other nicely there.
Gatter off a long shot, waffle boarded aside by Steskal. And Pionk will collect the puck with Michigan Tech changing. Aaron Pionk, of course, the younger brother of Neil Pionk.
Certainly see a lot of Neil in Aaron. It's fun to watch tonight. I was excited to see him play. He does not look like a freshman. The poise with the puck, and he's got a little bit of that sandpaper in his game too that we know Neil has. So this is going to be a fun year to watch him develop.
He also doesn't look like a player who's only been playing the position for 3 years.
He's a hockey player. I think that's the bottom line. Obviously, we know the family, and kid can play hockey.
Inside of 4 minutes to go. Puck still in the offensive zone for UMD as Biondi holds. Perkins first on the scene. It pops free to Biondi. Centering pass, no one there for the Bulldogs. And it's flipped out to center ice. That'll be an icing here on Michigan Tech. And with that whistle, let's go down one more time between the benches to our Alexis Beckett.
Yeah, remember head coach Scott Sandeling saying, I'm not expecting the freshmen to come out here and wow me. I just want them to compliment the returners. Well, the freshmen did them hit one better and complimented each other. You have Mangini scoring that goal and Aaron Pionk earning the point on it as well. And when they came back, everybody from the oldest to the youngest on this bench celebrating them and making sure that they knew how good of a job that they're doing. Better than everybody could have expected, but obviously refocused here right now, trying to see who can be the hero of tonight's game. Guys?
Michigan Tech using its timeout after that icing call. That's a moment you always remember, Judd, your first collegiate goal.
No question about it. Mine was at the Kohl Center in Wisconsin.
That's
it wasn't the first game of the year, though, I can tell you that. So that's pretty cool that for Anthony Mangini.
You remember your first home goal, Judd?
My first home goal might have been against Michigan Tech, actually, later that year at the deck.
See, you know we were going to bring that up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Judd had so many to choose from. It's hard to remember.
Not that year. Not that year, guys. Not that year.
3:35 to go. It's a tie game. The shot's 47-30 in favor of the Bulldogs. And now we get down to crunch time. Season opening game. You haven't worked a lot of these situations in practice, but now you're relying on those guys who maybe have been there before.
I think you are. I think you are. But you know, again, this isn't the you know, the NCAA tournament here. You got to learn about your team. You got to put guys in different positions and see, you know, who's going to emerge as when they do count, who you can put out there. So, you know, look at your lineups right now. I think Scott Sandlin's always been a guy who's not afraid to throw his fourth line out there, and technically, this is, you know, one of your bottom 6 guys right now. This line, so.
Yeah, Levi Stauber getting regular shifts now too, guys. It's Pedersen took the spot away from him to start, but Levi's been out there on a regular basis.
It's awesome to see.
The fairy tale ending still in play for the Stauber family here at Amsoil Arena. Bronte has the puck, slides it past Luke Bass behind the goal of UMD. It comes back to the near side, picked up by Mangini, and ahead for Carter Loney across the line. And they're in offside with 3:11 to go.
See, now here's what I don't like about the NCAA among money things, Judd, but football you get 4 weeks and then you play your first game. Baseball you get 3. Basketball this year you get 4. Today is the first official day that you can practice in hockey, and we're seeing 20 games across the country. It's just not fair. They got to let these guys go out and get a couple weeks into full practice. This just isn't the way that you're supposed to do it.
That's interesting. I mean, is there a reasoning behind? Is there an explanation? Have these guys, you know, they get together for their conferences and talk about that? You'd think it'd be an easy discussion to have. But.
I mean, the seasons I know is really long already, but
right.
What's 2 weeks on the front end if you can get your guys in better shape and put them in a better position to succeed?
I believe they did expand 2 years ago, maybe, the amount of time coaches could be on the ice during that initial period.
You get 4 hours a week when you used to get nothing, so that's better, but I still think it should be full practice.
It is really a silly rule, if you will, for a lack of a better term. I mean,
inside 3 minutes to go now, third period. Tie game 2-2. Olsen flips in for UMD. Canceled out by a couple Huskies. Williams giving chases James. Doesn't have much help in terms of support as his line mates Lowhite and Olsen both off for a change. Now it's James, leaves it for Bettens. He's canceled out nicely there by Matthew Campbell. Took the body on the big Kyle Bettens, who now fights for the puck on the end wall. Steves tried to lift a stick. Campbell up the far side boards and out to center. Spicer, good back pressure for UMD, lifted the stick there and was able to delay, but Pietola now dumps in for Michigan Tech. 2 minutes to go in the third period. Puck bouncing in front of the penalty box area. Shot in by the Bulldogs. Campbell back to get it. Takes a big hit from Bettens in the far corner. It comes up the near side point to Gordon, who bounces it near the UMD line. Steves has it to Bettens, who will flip in, and that line off for a change for UMD. And they'll wave off this icing. As Stayskal out to play it, leaves for Dubinsky behind the UMD goal with 1:15 to go. Who will find a winner? At this point, almost surely the next goal wins with 65 seconds to play in regulation. Through his own zone, that's Brontes. Disrupted by McMenamin. Gallatin defends Katarov. Into the UMD zone it goes. Dubinsky back to play it. A wayward stick as he plays it up for McMenamin. He has trouble with it off the boards, but it bounces to Biondi, who just carefully guides it up the near side boards. McMenamin that time was able to hold in the clearing attempt, but on the second effort it gets out. 35 seconds to play. Low height long shot, the rebound, and a bouncing puck for Matthew Perkins. He couldn't get good wood on it. Pionk holds the point at the far side. Low height will retreat to center ice. Circles back and they're in offside, as late to exit was Matthew Perkins. You couldn't have a better look than that.
Yeah, that puck just wouldn't sit for him, and he actually got pretty good lumber on it, but just a little bit wide there, obviously. If that puck's sitting flat, that's probably in the back of the net. Not even Blake Pietola would have stopped that one, but maybe he would have, I don't know.
That is a rebound you do not see him give up very often. Yeah. You've got to take advantage when he gives you a juicy one like that. Ooh. Well, we talked about it the only two other times that they've met in the Hall of Fame game, guys. I guess I shouldn't have said the word. Huh? Usually it's when you say shutout that you give it away, right? But, and unfortunately, I think the other word is going to play into here, too. Still time, though.
Face off at center ice. And they'll readjust the clock as a second or two ticked away on that false start face-off. If we don't get a game winner in the next 20.1 seconds, we'll go to the 3-on-3 overtime. And then we've been told that these two coaches have agreed, if that's still tied, they will do an exhibition shootout, a non-conference game. It's really not for much, but hey, why not? You might as well practice in a game situation early in the year before it matters for conference points. Final 10 seconds. Tech controls the puck, trying to pick the pocket as low height, but we are headed to overtime. Free hockey here in the season opener, the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game. 60 minutes, not enough to decide it between the Huskies and the Bulldogs.
Well, it was a good third period. Obviously, Tech with the lone goal to tie this hockey game up, and I mean, it was certainly each team had their chances, but an entertaining match, and we're going to get some extra time here.
So my broadcast partner, Mark Evans, and I play this game all the time, guys. I'm going to bring you in. We're playing pick to click now. So give me one player from both sides who you think is going to be the one that scores the overtime winner. And I'll go first, just to be fair. I want Kyle Bettens. I think he's had a couple of great opportunities tonight, and I think he's sniffing around in the right areas. And I'll go storybook and say Logan Pietola for Michigan Tech.
Well, for me, I'm going to go with Ben Steves. We haven't seen much of him tonight. He's a goal scorer, led the team with 21 last year as a freshman. Kind of waiting to hear something from him. And I'm going to go with Rylan Mosley, who's already got one tonight. I think that line's playing well, and I think he might get another one. He's had a couple other chances, too.
All right, Zach, there's a couple left for you here.
Yeah, going last in this game
Sorry,
with you
Zach.
two picking first is not fair to the lowly play-by-play guy, but I'll take Connor McMenamin for UMD and Kyle Kukkonen for Michigan Tech.
We left you a pretty good one there. I thought you might go storybook and say Stauber.
Well, That would be a storybook ending.
It would.
Well, a great exhibition tonight, though, guys. Not the cleanest hockey you're ever going to see, but there's no question both these teams are committed to this game. I haven't seen anybody let up at all through 60 minutes.
What I'm most interested in, Dave, is will we see 4 Pietolas on the ice? Because right now there are 3.
That was the threat, right?
And
you
Kukkonen is the odd man out, so 3 of the 4 over the boards first for Michigan Tech in the 3-on-3 overtime are Pietolas. UMD will have no such familial relationship to the 3 they send over, Gallatin, James, and Steves. The first 3 for Scott Sandlin's Bulldogs. 3-on-3 overtime to decide it. 5 minutes is all you get. If we're still tied, it'll go down as a tie. Here we go, overtime hockey in the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame game to start the 23-24 season.
Who's his favorite, Judd? Playing 3-on-3 now because it's been so congested out there. Who do you like?
You know, I hate to be a homer, but UMD's got some pretty high-end kids, and again, you got 21 goal scorers, a freshman on the ice right now, who I predicted would score one here. You got to keep an eye on him, but again, this Tech team's different. They've got those guys too, and so this is fun. It just takes one little chance here.
James has the puck first for UMD, a shot rising. I'm not sure if Pietola got a piece of it. He did, as the faceoff will stay inside the Tech zone.
Well, he tried to go short side in a hurry there, quick. Dominic James just got the shoulder. Pietola held that post nicely.
You know, sometimes safer in a 3-on-3 overtime to make the individual plays too, and not make those bad passes, because that's what results in the odd man rush going the other way. So
right, exactly. That's what it's about, right? It's about capitalizing on a mistake to get quickly transitioning the other way for an odd man rush.
Both teams changed their skaters. The only carryover is the guy with the puck, Chase Pietola, who stays on for Michigan Tech. 30 seconds already gone in the extra session. Mosley motors through neutral ice, drives wide. He's got a lane to the net, a shot. Great save by Stayskal as Mosley went forehand, backhand in the crease.
That was my guy.
Olsen now for UMD across the line. Far circle. He drives behind the net. Circles back, gives to Pionk. Middle point, back to Olsen. To Pionk. Man on man, you're responsible for your guy. Low height. To Pionk, who fumbles it. It's back to neutral, but UMD retains possession.
And now they get some fresh legs out there too. We'll see if, Tech goes for a quick change as well. One guy at least.
He throws it ahead through neutral. Biondi ahead for McMenamin. Tried to drive wide, guided to the end boards by Pietola. McMenamin for Gallatin. Gallatin to Biondi, and a great play there in front by Chase Pietola, who's been out there the entire time. He slides it ahead now for Michigan Tech. Logan Pietola defended well by McMenamin. 90 seconds and change gone from the overtime session. Gallatin circles back for UMD. Both teams will change. Long 3-on-3 shift put in there by Chase Pietola, who was out there for over a minute and a half. Now James fires, saved by Blake Pietola. The puck up over the glass and out of play.
That was a rocket. That was a good shot there.
Yeah.
And Blake Pietola just got his blocker, his shoulder on that one, and went up and out of play. But you see the speed there of Don McJames. He wound it up deep into the zone there and picked it up. Got a nice cut to the middle, got a nice shot on goal.
I don't know if you guys saw, when Sergei Fedorov was coaching in the KHL, in these 3-on-3 overtimes, as soon as his team got the puck, he would immediately pull the goaltender and play 4-on-3. Would you like to see that right now, John?
Wouldn't that be fun? Why not? This would be the game to do it, right?
Yeah.
Face off in the Tech zone, 3 minutes to go.
It worked for him more often than not, too.
It's a puck possession game, right? If you can hang on to it and not worry even about the open net.
Steves has control for the Bulldogs. He hands off for Dominic James. Back to Steves, one-timer. That missed on the glove side low. Steves collects it, dumps it back to center ice where Bast will be watched by Cascaperti. Halfway gone here in the overtime period. James will flip it ahead to himself. He's canceled out by Matthew Campbell. Those two battle in the corner. Steves won it back, just shoots it back to center ice where Pionk will retrieve for UMD. Jack Smith out there along with Mangini. Smith to the slot, tried to get it to Pionk, who joined the play. It's poked away and controlled by Michigan Tech. Kataroth, one of the 2 captains for Michigan Tech this year, from behind his own goal with 2 minutes to play in the overtime. Mosley gains some speed through neutral, works on Pionk. Mosley tried to go back to the forehand, a penalty coming to UMD as Mosley was hooked trying to get that back to his forehand. A power play in the overtime coming to Michigan Tech.
Mosley wanted the penalty shot.
He did.
He
signaled, which he did a nice job. What a great play up the ice. Similar to Dominic James, Mosley wound it up there, drove the puck wide. Pionk gets the hook. It was a delayed call. He kind of waited, and Mosley sold it nicely after the kind of went, threw his arms up in the referee rack. You'll see here, there's the initial. That's probably where the hook is, but watch. No call, no call. There's the sell job. Oh, and there's the penalty. So good job by Mosley there to sell it. The fans were too happy here, but.
So now, little history lesson for you guys. There's only one overtime game winner on that Husky bench right now that's done it in his career, and that's Arvid Kataroth. He did it in the GLI semifinal against Michigan State last year, and it came on an overtime power play.
Well, here you go, 4-on-3. They'll get the extra guy out here now.
Can I change my pick?
Timeout taken here by Michigan Tech before the coming power play, which will, barring any other penalties, last the rest of the overtime session.
And even though we did already see a Tech timeout, remember that was in regulation, and you get that timeout restored when you make it into overtime. Right. Blake Pietala's had a heck of a night down there.
So reverse your question here, Dave. Does Joe Sean pull Blake Pietala to go 5-on-3?
I've seen it done for sure, but you know that the power play is going to last the rest of the game unless you take a penalty because you're under 2 minutes. And that also means, too, if I remember right, Pionk cannot take a penalty shot if they do the shooting.
Ending the game in the box, right?
These are fun hypotheticals for us. Hard decisions for the 2 head coaches. So the Minnesota power play starts, and Kukkonen fires one from the near side circle, turned aside by Stejskal. Pietala to the far side, Mosley. Jed Pietala, Kukkonen wanted to fire and doesn't. 90 seconds to play. Kukkonen, top of the near circle, walks in, delays, fires. That was blocked by Dominic James. Mosley collects on the far side. He'll switch, come to the near side. Kukkonen at the dot. Walks to the middle again. He fires that one, narrowly missed, but it caroms out of the zone. A fortunate bounce there for UMD.
Well, I don't like that play by Kukkonen. He's got to make a better decision there. He can't just shoot at. He's the guy they want shooting the puck, but get him on a one-timer, like you talked about earlier.
Now Jed Pietala plays catch with Kukkonen. 50 seconds to go in the overtime. Kukkonen to the far side. Mosley loads and fires, blocked by Darian Goetz. The battle for it in the far side. Same 3 killers out there this entire time for UMD. Final 40 seconds of the game. Kukkonen doesn't fire one time on the second effort. It's blocked by the stick of Dominic James and cleared by UMD. Back on the attack is Jed Pietala. Same 3 killers still for the Bulldogs. Mosley, near side half boards. Kukkonen, far side Pietala. Doesn't fire. 15 seconds. Kukkonen a shot. Saved by Stejskal, and he puts it into the corner. Final 10 seconds now. Kataroth to the front. It's poked away by UMD and cleared. What a good kill here by the Bulldogs. Final 5 seconds as Pietala moves it up. The Bulldogs kill it off, and the game will end in an official 2-2 tie after a thrilling last-second penalty kill by UMD.
Wow, what a gutsy shift by Dominic James. He blocked a shot earlier in that. He could barely stand up. He was favoring a leg, and he fought right down to the end of that and made that final clear. He wanted to get off the ice, but he was out. That whole crew was out there for a minute 45 seconds or whatever it was, and they blocked a number of shots like we talked about. That's a gutsy penalty kill. No matter what happens now, that's something you can build off of UMD. Michigan Tech did a great job moving that puck around. They just didn't quite get that grade A scoring chance.
Goetz did a good job in there getting in the lanes. I thought Bodnerchuk was the key there, though. He did not allow that immediate shooting lane for Kukkonen. Every time when he got that puck, he had to cut back toward the middle.
Right.
Didn't allow the release except for the one time, and Stejskal made the big save on it.
Big save, yep.
So the game an official 2-2 tie. The shootout we're about to see, purely exhibition purposes, purely these two teams getting a taste of what might come later in their respective conferences, the NCHC and CCHA.
Yeah, I'll be honest too, a 2-2 tie doesn't hurt anybody in the pairwise at the end of the year. This is maybe one that you look back at and say, hey, that could have got us into the tournament at the tail end of the season.
Right. Look at the shots on goal, guys. 50-34. UMD peppering Blake Pietila with 50 shots on goal tonight. This is, and I mean, stage call, no slouch either, making a key save at the end there. It's been an unbelievable goaltending performance.
This has been the one knock, though, on Blake Pietila. Penalty shots are not what he does best. So we'll see if that, in his last season at Michigan Tech, if that one thing is finally in his locker.
UMD will shoot first. It's the fifth-year senior, Quinn Olson. Olson, a shot saved, Pietila.
Commentator's curse, huh?
Just a nice pad save there. The ice is not great, obviously, guys, so you don't look for these guys to be overhandling pucks.
First over the boards for Michigan Tech, the sophomore Patrick Marcinkiewicz. He scored the game-tying goal in that third period on a breakaway.
Let's see if he does the same thing.
Marcinkiewicz, deke, saved by Stejskal.
He kind of came in at the same angle there. I thought he was going to try to go high glove there with a little under the bar job like he did in regulation time, but he didn't.
I'll tell you this as an ex-goalie, I love it when they slow down. I don't like it when you come in at speed because I don't know what you're going to end up doing. So the slower the better if you're the goalie.
Does this count if he gets the winner here, guys? My call?
It could.
Ben Steeves.
Ben Steeves for UMD. The fake, the deke, he scores! Ben Steeves for the Bulldogs. What a move!
I literally thought he fanned on that puck.
Was that intentional?
That was intentional. Unbelievable, Ben Steeves.
Wow.
The freshman sensation puts the Bulldogs up by 1 in the exhibition shootout. Next up for Michigan Tech is Kyle Kukkonen. Kukkonen, a shot, 2 pipes, and he scores! The CCHA Rookie of the Year delivers.
Well, we picked the right two guys to feature at the top of the telecast, didn't we?
What a snipe that was, posting in, and it had to be a perfect shot, and that was exactly what it was.
Ooh. So now the freshman for the Bulldogs, he scored their second goal, Anthony Mangini. He slows down, fires, scores! A 5-hole goal for Anthony Mangini, and the Bulldogs are 1 save away.
That was incredible. Just a quick little release right along the ice. I think he got him 5-hole, but you know, you're going and you're approaching that shot. Maybe you just see that stick elevated. He got a little bit lazy there, like you said, and boom, back of the net. Here it is for the game.
Logan Pietila has to score. He does not. The Bulldogs win the shootout here in the season opener. The fans don't care that it's only exhibition. That'll feel like a win tonight in Duluth.
All right, nobody wins pick the click, but that was a great finish.
Right off the post there, that last one there. It was a good shot. What a game, guys. We got our money's worth tonight, didn't we? No question
kidding.
about it.
Yeah.
What a great first one. What a great Hockey Hall of Fame game here in Duluth. A 2-2 tie, and UMD edges Michigan Tech in the exhibition shootout. We will step aside and come back to wrap things up here from Amsoil Arena on My 9 Sports, the Gray TV network. Welcome back to Amsoil Arena. On the ice, UMD captain Luke Lohheit accepting the team's trophy from the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame, something they get to keep with them for the next year until the next Hall of Fame game. Technically, UMD, in the Hall of Fame's eyes, the winners, even though the NCAA will tell you today a 2-2 tie between UMD and Michigan Tech. Welcome back inside our My 9 Sports broadcast booth. I'm Zach Schneider, Judd Medic, Dave Wellis here with us here tonight. And a pretty good season opener. A lot of everything, some great goaltending, some pretty goals, especially in that shootout. But two teams that have high expectations moving forward.
Yeah, I think both teams have to be pretty happy with the performance tonight. Obviously, Michigan Tech coming back and tying the game in the third period. That's a positive heading into the season as they go. And UMD obviously didn't want to see that lead evaporate, but they've competed and they outshoot a team 50 to 34, I think it was in the end. So a lot of positives to build offs for both clubs.
I think we saw a lot of growth from a lot of lines out there, including our line tonight. I think the three of us by the end were working pretty well there. But I mean, Blake Pietola, as advertised for sure. You saw the talent from a lot of these guys in the shootout at the end, and you know they're all going to work hard. And when you can be working hard to be that next guy that gets on the bus or gets in the lineup the next night, that only helps these teams as the season moves on.
No offense taken if the three of us were not your picks to click during that overtime game that Dave had us play. But certainly it's a game that's so much fun, and for college hockey fans that are of a certain age, it certainly brings back memories of the old WCHA. Always fun when these two teams, again, I think that Michigan Tech is UMD's most played opponents, so it's fun to see the Huskies and Bulldogs get together, even for just one game.
I'd like to add more to that list, too, and have them play more often, especially when you're looking at – these are impactful games when you look at the end of the season with the pairwise, and it's just for the fans. Everyone in here had a great time tonight. It didn't matter that you weren't going up and down the ice with pinpoint passing all the time. When they work hard, they're fun to watch.
Yeah, certainly. The rivalry over the years, how many games they've played, and personally playing a part of that WCHA when I was playing was it was always a great rivalry. So it was neat to have them back here tonight.
One of the Bulldogs with a goal in this game, freshman Anthony Mangini. The first goal he scored in the third period to put the Dogs up 2-1. That one will count and will remain his first collegiate goal. He then scored a goal that won't count anywhere but in his own mind. The eventual shootout winner, and Anthony Mangini is with our Alexis Beckett.
All right, your first collegiate goal puts the Bulldogs ahead, and then you come and you win the game for the Bulldogs on on that shootout. Walk me through what was going through your head when you were going in the shootout.
Oh, I just knew I could win the game, honestly, with a goal, and so I knew going in that I was going to go 5-hole the entire time. Both goals previously had gone 5-hole, so that we scored on them, so I knew if I had a shot to go 5-hole, I was going there, and so I kind of just blacked out, honestly, and I just looked up, shot 5-hole, and it went in, so, it was kind of a surreal moment, and it was a lot of fun.
And then to see everybody, all of the older guys and everybody really embracing you and making sure you knew how good of a job it was. What have they been like to you as mentors so far?
They've been awesome. They've taken me under their wing, and they've been nothing but great mentors for me, and bringing me into the Bulldog family, and just honestly just loving me like I'm their blood brother. So, no, it's been nothing but great here, and I've loved my every second of it here.
Starting the season 1-0, how big is that, and how excited are you for the rest of the season and clearly get to be a big part of it?
Oh, yeah, it's been great. We came in this past month and a half and just knew that we were going to have this one game this weekend, and that's what we worked for so far. We're taking it one game at a time, and Michigan Tech's a great team. They're ranked 10th nationally, so we knew that if we got this win that it could help us out tremendously now and later on in the year, because each win matters, and you never know what an extra point can do. So, yeah, it was great.
All right, moving on to next week a little bit. Anything immediate changes you guys think you need to make?
No, I think the first period and third period we were great. Just hounding pucks, getting the pucks behind their defense. Second period we were trying to be a little too cute, but, we battled back and we got the win, so that's all that matters.
All right, congratulations again, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, Alexis. Anthony Mangini, the go-ahead goal there in the third period, and then the shootout game-winning goal in that exhibition shootout tonight for UMD. Speaking of looking ahead, we will look ahead to next weekend, where the three of us will be back in this booth in AMSOIL Arena for night one at least. Dave will be with us as the Dogs will host Northern Michigan next Friday and Saturday night, both at 7 o'clock, so we hope you can join us then. Other games coming up on the My9 Sports Network. The UMD football team next week will play host to the University of Mary, and then in a couple weeks, another one-game set, home and home. We get the Saturday game against Bemidji State for this men's hockey team. So let's look forward a bit to next weekend. Northern Michigan comes in. UMD comes off a hard-fought tie, a thrilling exhibition shootout victory. And what do we expect next weekend to look like for the home team?
Well, probably a lot of the same. Early in the season, trying to figure out roles and kind of combinations and whatnot. But
It'll be another great weekend, I think. It's a great opponent in Northern Michigan. They've had a lot of success over the past few years, so it's neat to see them coming in here, a team we haven't seen in a while.
Different style of hockey, though. The Wildcats like to go up and down the ice, and they also have another up-and-coming goaltender in Benny Halaz. You're going to like this guy, too. He might be the next Pietila coming up, but he's got a Hungarian name, so it doesn't work as well. You're going to see some good players. You're going to see a Grant Patulny-type team that wants to move that puck 200 feet. It's going to be a much different game for UMD to prepare for, but I think they'll be ready for it.
Well, if he's as good as Blake Pietila is, like you say, I bet a lot of the audience you're talking to won't like him as much as Blake Pietila. But we will see next week when UMD hosts Northern Michigan here at AMSOIL Arena. Until then, for Judd Medic, Dave Ellis, Alexis Beckett, our producer Tom Hansen, our director Ryan Skorich, and everybody else here in Duluth, I am Zach Schneider. Thank you so much for joining us here on Saturday night. Thank you to our two corporate sponsors, Essentia Health and Kohler Chevrolet Buick GMC, for their continued support of these broadcasts all season long. Until next time, hockey fans, so long.